Oh, I pressed the button and everything. I pressed the button, Chris.
I didn't think it was going to work. I thought you pressed it ages ago and nothing happened.
I think it's live now. I think we're live now.
Oh, they'll tell us in a minute if we are. It's fine.
Yes. There we go. We're live now. Hey, everybody. It's Foxx from Model Making Guru here. And with me, as always, is Chris from Gross Models. Hey, Chris.
Evening all.
Evening all. You're a policeman. You're a policeman.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's Monday. I don't know. I'm looking on me. It's Monday. It's Monday evening. Hello. Chris is exploding. There we go.
I should put on mute when I cough back. If I don't, I apologise in advance.
It's Monday evening. I'm Foxx from eModels, eModels.co.uk. I still can't do it like Ted does it. Welcome to the eModels Monday night live stream. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday. That's what happens. You'll notice it's me and Ted. I'm back. Hello. I'm back. And you'll notice that Ted is not with us tonight. So we'll get all that out of the way first. I've been away for a few weeks because my mum was poorly sick. Mama Foxx, or Fox's mum as everybody calls her, was rushed into hospital. She's been poorly sick and she's got some more hospital stuff to do, but everything's back to normal at the moment. So I'm back. Ted, bless him, was rushed into hospital about a week. It was about 4 or 5 days ago, wasn't it, Chris? I think.
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday last week after last week's show. Ted was rushed into hospital with a suspected stroke. So he's had some time in hospital. He's back home now. He's recovering. He seems to be doing all right. He's forgetting a few bits and bobs, but we're helping him through it. That's nothing. That's nothing out of the ordinary. That. But he asked us to thank everybody who's been sending him lots of good wishes and positive vibes and things on the internet. So everybody's been sending him messages. But he's getting back to normal. He was actually saying he might try and join tonight's show. We talked him out of it. I think we both talked him out of it, and Mrs. Ted gave him the look. Yeah,
there was mention of the look. He didn't explain the look. It was either a look that said, you know, go and do what you want, and when you fall over, don't come looking at me, or just don't even think about it.
I think it was probably the don't even think about it look. So Ted's mending up, and we don't know how long he's going to be out of the loop for. He's going to see if he can, he's going to try and join in the chat later on, he said. And we kind of humphed and ummed and ahed, and we basically said, just rest yourself up. But he might join in the chat later on if he gets the nod from Mrs. Ted.
So if he does join in the chat, don't pester him. Be nice to him. Yeah. Treat him with the respect he deserves.
Yes, respect for your elders. He's doing all right. He's slowly getting back to normal. So we'll see how that goes. So it will come back to us. We're just not sure how long it's going to be. We're guessing it's just a mixture of the stress of moving house and the heat and everything else. Probably didn't do him any favors, and working God knows how many hours on the boat.
And those couple of weeks where he had to do the show with just me. Yeah,
that's probably broken him. You basically broke him, didn't you, Chris?
I think I broke you before and then broke him, but yeah, you do.
So we are all sending our best wishes and thoughts to Tedward for a speedy back to normal recovery. Luckily, it seems to have been just a minor thing, so he will be back with us at some point, but he just wanted us to let you know what's going on. So there you go. Now, what's going to happen is, like I said, Mama Foxx also was rushed into hospital. There are some more visits to come, so it may possibly be at some point in the next 2 or 3 weeks that we miss a show, because if I'm away with Mama Hospital, it'll just be Chris on his own. We don't want to have just you doing the show on your own, do we, Chris? Really?
No, nobody wants that. No.
You'd probably be absolutely fine, but it wouldn't be fair. There may be a week coming up in a few weeks where maybe we miss one show, but we'll try and keep it to a minimum. But that's all the news out the way. So thank you everyone who sent best wishes and stuff to Ted and to me, because I've had a lot of feedback from people saying, you know, about my mum. So thank you to everybody. But let's get back into the swing of it. Welcome back to the show. We will do our best to keep things going. You'll be glad to know we haven't gone completely silly with tonight's What's in Store.
Well, it was your selection. It's not my fault. So.
Yep, it was my selection, but I haven't gone completely stupid.
No,
maybe, possibly.
Not completely.
Yeah, so but especially after last week's amazing giveaway. Now, don't forget, before we go anywhere, don't forget Debbie, MD Debbie, the big boss of all the bosses. She's Pete's mate's boss in more ways than one. Debbie said last week that we're going to be giving away a very special prize. It's the Tamiya 148th Grumman F14D. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. It's a brand new kit. and it's the giveaway tonight. So if you haven't got round yet to put in a comment on last week's video, you need to go there now and put a comment on it, because it's 90 quid's worth of beautiful 148 scale kit. So if you haven't done it yet, go and find it. Stick your comment on last week's live stream. Have you put your comment on, Chris?
Nope, I'm not allowed. I've been told not allowed.
Is the right answer. Yes. So yes, you haven't done that yet. Do go and put your comment on there. As always, if you're watching this anywhere where you can't see the live chat, we're going to depend on our friends in the live chat to keep us in questions and things to talk about. So if you want to join in the live chat, but you can't see it where you are, just click on the little YouTube icon down here in the bottom corner. That will take you to the YouTube channel where you can see the live chat and join in. And we will be doing sticker giveaways and all that stuff. And I do have here the new stickers, which look like that.
Yeah,
they're huge. They don't look like a big white square thing. That's a piece of white square card. They're just the symbol, and they're massive. Loads of them. So we have many stickers to give away tonight. Yes.
Talking about the chat, Tony Blackwell said, I had it on mute. It's probably the best way of watching the show, actually.
Yeah, I would. I just turn the sound off
on the live subtitles. It'd be great. And Spooky Q8 says, everyone's talking about a Tomcat in the giveaway. Based on recent giveaways, is it an actual feral Tomcat?
Yeah, it's half a Tomcat. You can see inside it. You can see the spleens and things. It's got multiple spleens. It's got realistic spring action spleen, like the real thing.
What does spleens do?
Well, yeah, but it's pretend spleen, so it's got a realistic spring action.
I don't know what spleen actually does. Is that one of them things that you don't really need anymore?
It does the spleeny thing. It makes
like the appendix that you sort of got, but you don't really need it.
I think it makes the boost. You know, when you do a boost.
I don't do a boost. No,
like a boost jump.
No, I can't do a double jump. Maybe my spleen's broken.
Yeah, maybe you had a splenectomy when you were a kid and you've forgotten that's why you can't do a double jump.
Yeah.
See, that's why you need a spleen. If you want to get some hard to reach areas, get them stars or them coins. You need a spleen, man. It's all about the spleen.
It's where they keep the coins.
Yeah, where they keep the coins. We're going to turn you up a little bit because I'm having trouble hearing you. It's
probably just me being quiet, but you know.
No, it's me being. If you have any feedback, let us know in the anybody watching in the chat. If we get any echo and stuff, let me know because I've turned Chris up a little bit. So let's have a look. How are we doing in chat there? Should we go through and do you want to go through?
We started off. Red Lim was in like hours ago, like last week sometime.
I came in about 7 just to take something like Blimey Riley.
But they did pop in and say they got and pop out, and then they came back later.
Yeah.
So Dan Dux Bobbington was in saying good evening. Then I was there. A little bit of chat going on there. Lord Barkley III said hello. Sergeant Bones says peanuts, toffee poppets, and all the refreshments are in the lobby while you wait for our feature presentation.
Yes, don't forget, if you're going to get it right though, it's peanuts, toffee poppets, peanuts. What is it? Peanuts.
If you're going to get it right, get it right.
No, it's King Cones, toffee poppets, Kiora, and Sunkist. That's what was always available in the intermission.
Okay.
Sunkist, Kiora, toffee poppets, and King Cones.
We've got Colin at Festa 67's workshop. Hi all. Zadsterins just parking himself in here so he doesn't forget.
Yep.
I assume they're still about, but you know.
He might be. We might hear from him.
As we said, Tony Blackwell, Phil Kett, me again, Michael Snow, Spidin, Smooth's in, evening peeps. And then eModels bloke's in, just saying he's getting ready. Zadster's still around because he's waving.
Yep, I was being fluffed.
Mike Hornsey, hello all. Sprugrew Addict says, I wonder if Foxx found his new pet spider yet. Foxx had a special delivery earlier, but
yes, my very good friend Kenneth, who you'll know from chat, comes in occasionally. Lives in Australia. He sent me a little package today with a nice T-shirt and some bits from a diorama and a half-open pot. If you haven't seen the video on my channel, a half-open pot with some tape around it and a bit of tissue inside. When I opened it, on the tissue was written "Baby Huntsman Spider."
Caution,
yeah, caution, baby huntsman. And I'm like, ah. And of course, I didn't realize till I'd opened it out and there's nothing there. That's why it was kind of taped up, but looked like it was half open. So but then Sprugler Addict put a comment on the video saying, no, wait, it really did walk across your desk and go into one of the chocolate bars. I'm like, no, it didn't. But the back of my brain was going, maybe it did.
I think everybody's watching over your shoulder now and thinking, is that moving?
Yeah, is that spider there? Is that bit there?
No, it can't be. My imagination didn't really move.
Mm.
Right, so that was there. We've got other people have been in. Michael Jackman. Saying, I wonder if Ted's done something about his atrocious broadband yet. But, well, no, but yes, but it's not here anyway, so.
No, but there is actually an update. He has been told now by BT that he is going to get fibre very quickly, very soon. Which is great, apart from he can't come on the show at the minute because of ill health. But apparently, yes, it is being sorted for him now.
I think they've been spying on his house. They found out that he's not well, and they're sorting his broadband for him.
Yeah, because that's what you need when you're not well, is just good broadband.
Yep.
So you can just veg over Netflix for hours on it.
Looking through the names, I think that's Wayne Hayward, Richard Gibbs, Monkey with 5s and 0s, but I can't read how many of them there are. There's lots of 5s now. There's a couple of 0s at the end.
Oh, it's monkey number.
Monkey number, yeah.
Monkey.
David Butcher, that model's in. John Gladden, Monkey, Esther, Mike. Yeah, I think that's probably everybody. Oh, Ray from Walters in, Ray Greener.
Hey, Ray.
Esther, Felice, yeah. And then I'm sort of up to date, I think, maybe.
Cool.
So, yeah, lots of people are watching. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome all. We will do our best with the chat tonight. Obviously, it's just me and Chris, and normally Chris is the chat dolly, and me and Ted do the ignoring chat because we'll just try and look pretty on camera. But like we did when it was just me and Chris before, we'll do our best to keep up with the chat, but we will miss the occasional thing because it moves quite fast. So if you do have a question for us,
there is another person just popped in chat that I've seen. Skipper Ted. He says, "I'm here. Don't forget to send your questions into Ted at eModels.co.uk."
Yes.
Only one of each word in the actual thing.
Skipper Ted, welcome. So Ted, yes, you are in the chat.
Yeah, welcome, Ted. Take it easy. I hope you're sitting down.
Yeah,
maybe laying down. Laying down would be better.
Sit down with a nice cup of tea and sit down with a nice brew. Just sit and take the chat easy.
Any emails that you get sent to him, he's going to forward on to Foxx. So
yeah,
we'll get them. Get them to Ted.
I have my iPad of happiness here with email open right now. Email is open. So if you want to ask any questions, as always, if you want to ask questions, you just put them in big fat capital letters if you're in the live chat. So we can't possibly miss them, or we can try not to miss them. You do have the option, if you wish, of using the super chat, which is the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your question in a big colourful box, and we can't possibly miss it. But if for any reason you can't access the live chat and you want to send a question in, just mail it, as Ted said, to ted@emodels.co.uk, and he will do his best to forward that to me. And then I'll have the email here. As always, you can mail us questions. We'll do shout outs. So if you've got somebody's birthday or a wedding or a birth or something you want to announce, or if you've got a local model show in your area, anything like that, pop it to Ted's email and we'll do a shout out on the show. And last of all, don't forget, of course, when we do the sticker giveaways later on, we're really lazy and we can't be bothered coming up with questions and answers for those. So if you want to send us a question and answer that we can use in the sticker giveaway, send us that with your name and address, and we will send you a sticker if we read your question out.
Ted says he'll hang about in chat when he can. Thanks for everyone's good wishes. And he says he's in bed.
All right, good man. Good man. He's probably under the auspices of Mrs. Ted, who's keeping him.
I hope he's not under a duvet, because that'd be a bit warm.
Yeah, don't be under a duvet.
That can't be good for you. Yeah.
If you're wondering, by the way, the tissue is because this moustache absorbs all the drink in my cup, which I have to confess, tonight we're on tea.
Oh,
Spid's going wonky again now I've said that. Some people will know, but Simon Callahan, one of my followers and friends online, sent me a box of Barry's tea from Ireland, and Mum really loved it, and I actually quite liked it, and I hate tea. So Mum, a few days ago, while Mum's busy recovering, set her up with the Amazon account and stuff like that, and so she can order things. And so she went on to Amazon. She ordered 600 bags of Barry's tea, which we thought was maybe like just 3 or 4 boxes of tea bags. It wasn't. It was just a massive bag with 600 tea bags in it, in a brown box. And she ordered a hedgehog house because we've got a hedgehog in our garden. So Mum's on Amazon. She's buying all the nonsense. Good girl.
I think Spid's left actually because he upset him by drinking tea. So
yes, but it's not normal tea. It is fantastic tea. Spruce Surgeon says, question, where is my sticker? Good question. If you won a sticker in the last couple of weeks and you mailed it to Ted, obviously Ted's been a little preoccupied for the last week being in hospital. So Ted's going to try and dig them out and send any emails to me for any stickers that need to go out, and I'll get them sent out ASAP.
Yeah. Sergeant Bones is correcting you. Apparently he says it's Chris and I, not me and Chris.
Did I say
it wasn't him? It was me and Foxx. It wasn't anything to do with you, Sergeant Bones.
Wait, what? I'm confused. I'm being texted. Hang on, is this Tedward? Yes. I've received a text message, and yes, I am aware. Thank you.
Right, 600 bags of tea, lots of tea, yeah. Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire tea. See, I'm not a big tea drinker. Not a big tea drinker. But when I tried this Barry's tea, I'm like, oh, fantastic! I like that. So yeah, that's now a tea I will drink. So I've kind of started doing the morning coffee, afternoon tea, which is a bit weird.
Totally scale models. No rush for stickers. They'll come when they'll come. Yeah, thank you. Obviously, things are up in the air at the moment. So when things settle down, everything will be sorted.
Griff MJ says, evening chaps, late on parade tonight. What's an update on Skipper? We did say at the start, but Ted is recovering quite nicely. He's under watch by Mrs. Ted. He's in bed at the minute. He's in chat, and he's kind of dipping into chat. We had to convince him not to come on the show tonight. He was all up for coming on the show. I don't know. But yes, he's got off work for a month. He's got to put his feet up and be lazy and looked after for a month. He's loving it, really.
He just said in chat, he's here, slow recovery.
Yeah, he's getting
we have a question from RLE82.
Yes, go for it.
I ordered some Ammo MiG books, Waffen SS Camouflage and the Panther Visual Guide. My question is, Ammo and AK make similar books. Is there any point in getting both AK and Ammo books? I don't know. I've got the AK diorama books, but there are obviously lots of books on similar subjects. Have a look and see what you like. I mean, they're not going to be exactly the same. There are always going to be differences between them. So if there's one you prefer the style of or the writing style, then go for that. If you just want all the books, get all the books.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the whole history between Ammo and AK, there's kind of a long, convoluted history where Mig Jimenez, who is Ammo by Mig, used to be involved with AK now, isn't? And they kind of, it's a big, long story. I won't go into it here. But anyway, yes, their product lines are very similar. So I would take the mindset that if if you're particularly attached to one of the types of paint, like Chris says, like if you particularly love the Ammo paints, or if you particularly like the AK stuff, then get the one from that range. However, they are very, very similar. So you might find similar sort of tips and techniques in both the different sets of books. However, you might find that some of the tips in one might not be another one. You might get, it's always better to have more information than you need than less. So if you're able to, get both, because you never know. There will be some products that Ammo do that AK don't, and that AK do that Ammo don't. And you might find that you prefer one over the other. And it might be like, I've not seen any of the books personally myself, but I'm going to guess like the other, say, Ammo books, there are lots of tutorials and step-by-step guides. So it's always worth getting those, just because if nothing else, there's always lots of visual information in there you can use as influence, as inspiration, like pictures of builds and kits and things. So
yeah, there's always going to be different ways of doing things. So yeah, they'll be different. I don't know that they ever contradict each other. None of them will say, do this, don't do this, that the other book's telling you to do. They're all just going to be variations of how to do things. So yeah, as you say, more information is always better, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, it's if nothing else, again, I always find those books kind of useful just for resources, for inspiration, for pictures of, weathered models and things. And I tend to just lap them all up. So I'd say if you're beholden to one particular brand, go for that one. But if you're not beholden to one, or you just want lots of like reference material, influence material, get both.
Fibart Crime says this F-14 giveaway made me watch Top Gun again. That's never a bad thing. They're making a new one, aren't they?
I did watch Top Gun many, many years ago, and I don't remember being particularly enamored with it, but it's just
it's good fun. It's good fun film. They're making a new one.
Juan Rivera says, what's your thoughts on the Riffield M1A1 Abrams with full interior? Now, neither of us two are armor dudes, but I do have in my stash as the next eModels build the Riffield Panther G. Yeah, so but I have heard and seen many good things about the Riffield builds, Riffield kits. So I can't give you any direct thoughts, but I do hear a lot of good things about the Riffield kits. Anybody in chat who's watching who can sort of give Juan some ideas about either that particular kit or about the Riffield build, what they like to build, do let him know, because it's interesting for me to find out because I've got to build one for eModels in a few months.
Yeah.
Not done a right field kit before, so that could be good.
Yeah, it's not a brand that I've actually heard of. I don't know them, but as you say, we're not armor people. So
yeah, I mean, I've been aware of them. I've just not made one of their kits before.
James Chapman says, question, what's the worst color paint everyone's used? Mine's white, as always. Have to do multiple coats. Yeah, white is always a problem. Yellow and red isn't great most of the time either. But yeah, white's probably the worst. And obviously, I've just painted a big white tube, so yeah, white's always fun.
Yeah, I think my least favorite brushed color is probably the Vallejo game color Glorious Gold. Not because it's a bad color, because when you get it on there and you build it up, it's a really nice gold color. It's just like really watery and horrible, and it takes coat after coat after coat to get it nice. If you're brushing it, to get it nice and thick, and I wasn't that enamored with it, so it's like it's all right, but you have to do so many thin coats to get the coverage, because it's almost like it's hydrophobic. It doesn't want to stick to the surface. It does look good when you've got it on, but the process of painting on it didn't do anything for me. So
yeah, Tony Blackwell says white is better sprayed. Yeah, and that's all been sprayed apart from a bit of touch-up work. But yeah, spraying's easier than brush painting for a lot of colours anyway, and thin coats is the way to go.
Yeah. Festus
Monkey says red is a pain.
Yeah, red. Well, it's one of those things. It depends with any color. It depends if you're spraying it or brushing it. Often a color that's a nightmare to brush can be beautiful to paint. Like whites can actually be really good if you airbrush them carefully, but they're always a nightmare to paint. Whereas things like reds can be some reds can be a real joy to paint, but a real pain to actually spray because they just tend to come out too dark. So it does depend on the brand. I often find when I get a color that I really can't deal with, try different brands. It sometimes can open your eyes as to the differences between certain brands of paints. Festa67 Workshop says Skipper Ted, take it easy, mate.
Yeah.
Speedy Curate says, stop all this vile language and talk of tea. It disgusts me.
Michael Jackman had several different makes of white. Found the best one is the MiG white washable in the World War II Russian armor set. Yeah, different brands are often different in different colors, and if you find one that works for you, then go.
Yeah, the white washable MiG paint is designed to go on as if you're doing that kind of like winter camo effect. So you can put it on and then wipe it off with. I think you can just wipe it off with water with a wet brush or a wet cotton bud. It's supposed to be very good for that. I've not tried it, but it's deliberately designed to be removable. Red paint seems to get everywhere. It's almost uncanny how it can get into the guts of your airbrush, says Tony Blackwell. Yeah, he says he does love the Citadel Mephiston red. Mephiston red is a beautiful color to brush on with a brush. It's fantastic. It's my favorite. It's my overall favorite paint of any kind is Citadel's Mephiston red. But anything like red or yellow in your airbrush, it can take 100 hours to clean it carefully to get all that out. It's just endless. It never stops coming out. It's a nightmare. Red is a horrible thing to put through your airbrush because you know you're going to be there for like half an hour cleaning it out.
Yeah, and even more if you've cut your finger while you're doing it, because then you're just cleaning it and it's just getting all red all over the place again. And,
Dennis Hack says yellow is his horror. Totally scale model struggles with clear colors. Let's have a look.
Mike Mountains popped in, says evening everyone.
Hey Dad.
Hello Dad.
Hey Mike Mountain. Welcome. Let's have a look.
Well, while we've been talking about my large tube, I may as well do some showing off.
Oh yes. What have you been doing, Chris? Let me look it on you.
What I've been doing this week.
Show off your big tube.
It doesn't fit on camera. It does if you do it that way, but then you can't really see it. Last time on eModels, I'd done the top bit. This time I've done the black painting, so it's got all the marking and stripes and paint on it. I've been told that I've painted it as the test rocket that apparently never went into space.
Hooray!
But I've just followed the instructions. I don't know. Apparently it's all different, almost like a barcode as to how you get things lined up and whatever's right is apparently for different things. But
do you think that when they built those things for real and painted them, they just kind of made it up?
Pretty sure, yeah.
They went, should we just do this bit black? I can't reach that with the big stick thing, so I'll just, there you go.
Yeah. Well, some of it's very, let me take that bit off. The rest of it will come to bits. On the top here, if I can point that in there, you've got sort of half of it that's half, and then a quadrant there, and it's all white on one bit and all black on another bit, and then really great fun masking. as it's all a ribbed finich anyway. So
yeah, did you have to spend a long time like putting the tape down and then pushing it down with cocktail sticks?
Really pushing it down with cocktail sticks, and as is always a good idea when you're doing on a base color, I've put the masking up. I've primed it all in white. This is all white primer. I didn't actually use any proper paint. This is all primer. Mainly because I didn't have that much white paint.
There's always some limitation. It's supposed to be creative about it.
Yeah, that's why. It's because so once I masked off the white areas to do the black, before I put the black down, I put more white down, which helps to seal down the edge of the tape to stop or help stop so much leakage underneath. So that really did make a difference. I have still gone around and touched up a couple of bits with brush in both white and then black and trying to get sharp lines, but I'm quite happy with how it's come out. So it's basically all the painting done on it now. So I'm going to give it a quick gloss coat and then put the decals on, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be weathering it much. I'll put a little bit in here and there, but obviously it's going to be sitting on the display stand, which has got a big decal on it as well.
Yeah. I mean,
just in case you didn't know what it was.
Just in case. I mean, just on the thing of weathering space rockets and things, because somebody asked me this a while ago. If you actually look at a reusable rocket, I can't remember whose it was. There was one that went up. It was about a year ago. There's a photograph of one that they brought the component back down that launched. It might have been the Elon Musk thing. I can't remember what it's. Anyway, they had a photograph of it come back from launching up and coming down, and this thing was just absolutely black from the end, from where the engine bells were, and then faded up to towards the middle. So I think if somebody asked me about the Saturn V rockets before, and it's like, well, if you're painting it as the whole thing as if it's not taken off yet, then it's not going to be that dirty.
No, there might be a bit of fuel spillage from pipes and weathering. It's been sitting outside for a week or whatever, maybe. So there's going to be a little bit here and there, but at 144 scale as well, you're not going to be able to see, little patches or anything. So it's pretty much going to be a clean build. I'm going to give it a bit of a sort of wash down the edges and things like that, just to ground it a bit rather than making it look like it's just been painted.
Yeah, I mean that's the most you kind of want to do, is maybe a very subtle bit of pre-shading or wash just to give it some depth, and that's about it. You're not really doing weathering, are you? It's weathering to suggest depth rather than weathering to suggest actual wear and tear, because there really won't be much.
Yeah, not so much wear and tear, but
just depth, like a wash, it's like a smoke wash or something like really. I mean, if I probably do like a really, really, really thin smoke wash just to get down the edges of all the little ribs.
Yeah, Sprugro Addict says, Chris, please put some real rockets in the base and launch it live on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, it's going to sit in the corner. It's fine.
I would do that, actually.
Well, you can build one and then do it, but no.
What you want to do is get rockets in the bottom, but then also build like a hydraulic rig so that you can go bang and it'll go like that. So it'll look like the rockets are lifting it off, but then it'll explode and everybody will die.
No, because half the reason that I started doing the 144 kits is because I like to sort of cross genres. So I've got the rocket that is a real world thing, and it's huge. I mean, you saw how big it was there, and that's at 144 1 scale, or 1 to 144 scale. You got tiny little people like that standing next to it, and then next to it I can have my Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that doesn't exist in real life, but you can actually see how that looks next to a Gundam or a tugboat. Or it's really interesting to me to see how things that never go together go together.
Yeah, because it's like when somebody, we've all seen it, when you get one of those, like, take your favorite sci-fi franchise, for example, whichever it may be, on the internet somewhere, somebody has done a chart with all the different, say, vehicles or spaceships or whatever it is from that particular universe. Yeah. And compared them all, like all the Star Wars ships or all the Star Trek ships, or some people have done like all the sci-fi ships ever from Babylon 5 and Star Trek and Star Wars and Farscape. And seeing all these different things, when you see different things together and you get a thing for the scale, it can be incredible. Because I didn't realize how big those tugs that you've built, have you got them there with you? Have you got one?
Talk about it. There you go.
I didn't realize how big those tugs actually are. Because when you said to me they're 144 scale, I was like, oh, they're like 135th scale. I was like, no, they're 144 scale.
Yep.
Because that tells you that in real life those tugs are actually massive.
Yeah.
You think of a tug, it's like a little spud boat. It's like a little. It's not.
Yeah, I mean that's a person, a 144 person. So standing next to a tugboat. I don't know if you probably can't quite see it, but
yeah,
it's huge.
Because
things are bigger than you think.
Because I thought they were like 172nd scale or 148th scale, and you're like, no, they're 144th. I'm like, what? How big are tugs?
Yeah, well, wow. that'll tell you how big it is, because there's one of your transformer things.
Oh, you said transformer.
So he can stand on the back.
It's quite cool. Makes you realize how big those tugs actually are. Yeah. Totally Scale Model says, Chris, about you when you're talking about the paint scheme. Chris, who cares? It's your model as long as you're happy with it.
Exactly right. Someone actually posted a picture of all of the Saturn rockets, or a lot of the Saturn rockets next to each other. Big picture of about 10 different pictures. And I looked at it and I thought they all look the same to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are slight variations in the patterning of the shading and the color, and they haven't got this bit. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing,
instructions, and that's the one I built. I don't know which one it is, but I like it.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that most of our viewers know about me, you, and Ted, and he said me, you, and Chris. Then you, Ted, Chris, me,
you, Ted, you, and I, and Foxx. Yeah.
Yeah, is that the three of us, and in fact, most of the people that join in our chat and watch are like not rivet counters at all. We like to make things look accurate, but we're not that fussed. We're not going to make sure it's got all the right. Whenever we're building a kit of a real thing, we're not going to panic because it's not the right shade of Dunkelgelb or it's not got enough rivets, hence the phrase rivet counter. And we are, if we can go for accuracy. Ted tried to be very accurate when he did his big 1/16 scale tank. And I'll try and be, realistic and accurate when I do my enormous Panther G in a few months. But we're not like rabid rivet counters, and we've always been very anti that. And most people that watch this will know that. We always say to people, it doesn't matter whether it's 100% accurate or not. It just matters.
I mean, if you want to build it 100% accurate and count all the rivets, then more luck to you. Great, fine. But, don't expect that on any of my builds for sure.
Yeah. Because it's like, at the end of the day, we're people that we stick little plastic soldiers together for fun. Yeah. And it's just fun, and that's the main thing. So, like the statement says on there, doesn't really matter as long as you had fun doing it. That's the kind of the mentality we have. It's as long as you have fun doing what you're doing.
Ted, our naval expert, actually says that's actually a small harbour tug, so they get bigger than that.
I don't know. How often do you need to move a small harbour?
Oh, obviously you use them to move them.
Yeah, Ted knows about tug. I mean, about boats. Yeah. Because I'm sure, if I'm sure in one of his, if you look at Ted's list of jobs that Ted has done in the past, as well as nuclear physicist, copper, MI6 special agent.
That one's not on there anymore. That's been redacted.
Arctic Expo. Oh, did I say it out loud?
Yeah, no, we'll redact that as well. It's fine.
Okay, we'll take it out in the
precursor. Yeah, yeah.
If you heard me say anything, then if you could just
beep it in your brain.
Yeah, just take them out. Let's have a look. Totally Scale Model says Eagle Feel. Zadster says usually ice forms on the oxygen umbilicals. So if you're building it on the landing pad, your big Saturn, you could theoretically build some kind of. Hey, you know what you could do?
Oh dear.
You know what you could do, and this would actually be really cool.
I don't like that look.
No, I've had a sudden thought. If you wanted to get that, because he's like Zadster says, when it's there on the landing pad, or if you're building a shuttle or anything else, you get ice buildup, don't you? Especially on the oxygen tanks and the fuel tanks where they get very, very cold. You know how you could reproduce that? You could just slather, or you could sort of slather super glue, CA glue.
No, yeah.
Because if you ever put a load of super glue down, it's like frosts everything. There's probably a way you could use that to your advantage to make frost effect.
I thought for a minute you were going to tell me to scratch build a gantry next to it.
Yeah, I would actually scratch build a miniature ice machine that makes tiny ice. Yeah. Paul Di Tommaso's in. Somebody asked in chat, where's it gone? James Chapman says, does anybody know where I can get a metal movable tracks for Revell 135th Tiger 1? And I was going to say, I don't know if there's one specifically for that kit. But eModels do have some metal tracks in stock for various tanks, and they tend to be fairly generic for most kits. So have a look just on the eModels store for tracks or metal tracks. I don't know if they're Frual tracks. They might be the I think they might be AK or Hataka. I'm not sure. They do have some metal tracks in stock. I can't remember which one's the for. But if you can't find anything on there, do give the guys at eModels a call. They can always see if there is something available. Metal tracks for the Revell, I don't know specifically for the Revell, because a lot of the metal tracks tend to be things like Dragon, Tamiya, but they'll generally be for that tank rather than that model brand. So they might still fit. So if anybody in chat knows, do let him know.
Zazda says the big ocean-going tugs are mahoosive, incredibly powerful. I was surprised when I built this at how big the propeller engine-y things are in relation to everything else.
Drive,
they're massive.
Something.
Yeah, they're big propeller rotor things.
Yeah, somebody actually told you what they were called, didn't they?
Did, but I forget things. I don't remember things. I don't remember everything. Spruger Addict says that's a large spider's web over your right shoulder, Fox.
Yes, there is not a huntsman spider living in my bedroom.
What's that on the side of your hat?
Yeah, there's a spider. Don't forget, of course, we do count on your questions. We will need questions to keep us talking about stuff and for the giveaways later on. So if you want to give us a question to ask, or if you need to ask us something, make sure to put it in big fat capital letters in the chat so we can try not to miss it. Do feel free to use the super chat, or if you want to, if you can't see the chat, if you can't access the chat, you're more than welcome to mail Ted, who's already sent me a mail already for a question that's been sent to him. Send a mail to ted@emodels.co.uk, and if you can, he'll forward it on to me. Now, but we've got a question for the giveaway later on. We haven't got a question to answer question. So if you've got any questions and you can't get into chat, do feel free to mail us. Strip counters, Chris says totally scale models.
Yeah, I think it's in stripe counters.
Yeah, Speedy Curate says how many small...
how many stripes I got around the rocket.
Yeah. Speedy Curate says how many small harbours can it tow, Ted? Earl D is in. He says, evening, folks. I forgot about the stream. Thought it was Sunday after I woke up. Skipper Ted says the power at the props is increased with the use of Knort nozzles.
Is it Knort or is it Nort?
It's probably Knort, but I like to say Knort because it just sounds like some kind of made up sci-fi thing. Quick, activate the Knort nozzles.
Yes, also, yeah, we need more Knort nozzles. Go and get some.
Bless you, Ted, says Spruger Addict. Yes, I now need to remember that to make it an insult. Knort nozzles.
Dan Ducks Bovington says he just made that up.
Yeah, he probably did. But the best bit is that none of us have a clue, so we can't tell him. We don't know. We have to take it read.
I'm not going to Google Knort nozzles for sure. That's certainly.
Skipper says, send your questions to me. I shall put if you're in chat, although I don't know I'm going to put it in chat, because if you're in chat, you can just ask the question there. But I'll put Ted's email address.
Ted@eModels.co.uk.
And I always, for some reason, I can't type email addresses when I'm live on telly. There you go, ted@emodels.co.uk. But if you are in chat, you could just ask us in chat.
Yeah. Steve at Totally Scale Model says, okay, how do you tell what the different size needles are if you don't have the tube it came in? I think we're talking airbrush needles and things like that. You measure it. I've
done that myself. You can't. You kind of have to just. Well, you can, but you kind of have to jam it in the nozzle and hope it doesn't do any damage.
Well, or you could get a vernier gauge or a micrometer and actually measure across the nozzle.
Is the vernier gauge that thing where it does that and it's like that shape and you?
Yep. Yeah, the bit with a clampy thing you just put it in something like that. Yep.
And you get the digital ones that are like.
Yeah, that's cheating.
I need to get one of that. I want one of those, but I have no use for them. But I still want one anyway.
I use one at work every day. So
but you make like watches.
Tiny things. Yeah, that's great.
Yes. Is that why you do your 1144 stuff? Because you used to like building watches with molecular?
No, not at all. The 144 stuff just came about purely because I don't have a lot of room to store stuff and display stuff. So I thought I'd get something that was small.
Because if I spent my entire day dealing with tiny components, I'd be building like mega size and stuff as a matter of course.
I haven't got that much room to store stuff as it is, so let alone if it was 2 or 3 times the size of this. I mean, that's big enough, isn't it? Why do you want to build a kit bigger than that? Twice the size of that at 172.
You want like 135th, mate. Then you're a proper modeler. We joke. Skipper Ted says they are marked with cutouts on the shaft and ringson on the nozzles.
Are they? Who? What?
I think it means rings on the nozzles.
Are they? I've never seen any, but maybe I
okay.
use cheap airbrush stuff that isn't.
Here we go. Question from Earl D. I assume he's talking about Space Marines. He says, question, painting black marines, can I get good shade variation using different blacks without going the grey route? Going to work a purple wash in somewhere. So I assume he's painting, I don't know what he is, but I'm going to assume it's like, say, Space Marines, he's painting the armour. That's just for the sake of argument. But it applies to anything. He wants to paint them black, but he wants to try and not use lots of greys. So can he just use lots of different blacks? What do you reckon?
I don't know. You can't really, I mean, when you're saying different blacks, I mean, there's shades of black, but they're all sort of really dark greys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Dark browns and dark greys. I mean,
I would say if you want any kind of variation at all, just don't start with blacks. Because even if you use different shades of black, they're all like you said, they're still black. And when you look at it from a distance, it'll just look black. And once you've done that, you can't then get any variation in it, really, anything subtle. So I would say do a test on a spare figure with different blacks just to see, because I know what it means. I just think it'll just come out looking black. It's like if you, for example, with the Citadel Rage, if you have their Chaos Black primer and their Abaddon black paint, they're both black. They look kind of almost the same color, but it's the finish that's ever so slightly different. So if you're using different shades of blacks, they're probably going to look, unless you've got like a rubber black, which does look a little lighter, they're probably just going to have different finishes rather than brightly different colors. So you probably won't get much variation. Not if you want
the Tamiya NATO black has got a sort of greeny sheen to it.
Yeah.
And the rubber black is, again, not very dark. So, I mean, they're technically black, but they're not really black, are they?
No, and he says he wants to work in a purple wash, but to be honest, if you start, even if you use 3 different types of black, the moment you use any kind of black, you're not going to see a purple wash.
Yeah.
No matter how much you put on, it's just not going to make any difference.
Ted says, sorry, my right hand won't let me type properly. So if he's got trouble with his right hand and the left side of his keyboard doesn't work.
It's because he's got the gin in his right hand.
He's got his gin in the right hand and the left side of his keyboard doesn't work, does it? So
I know. No, you just take
lucky we get anything at all from him. Just take it easy, Ted.
Yeah, just take it easy. We're not expecting you to reply to questions fast.
Or at all.
Spelled well. We'll take whatever we can get.
Speed says, as far as I know, it's only H&S and some Iwata that mark the needle and the nozzle. So we're talking about size of needles and things. It might only be some manufacturers that actually mark them on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the route of having 2 different airbrushes, different size nozzles, just because I've had to buy different brushes over the course. I have got my Neo for Iwata, which is this one. It does have a 0.35 nozzle in it. I did get the 0.5 kit for the nozzle and the needle for 0.5, but I can't get it to spray properly with that. So I've just got an old Revolution Part 0.5 that I use when I need it. I don't use it very often. I tend to just use my 0.35 all the time. Zasta says use matte and eggshell gloss.
Is that for the blacks?
I'm guessing that's about blacks, yeah. The way to think of like the different finishes is, it's like one where you would, if people who make starships, like Star Trek starships, sometimes what you can do is you can get, to get that subtle pearlescent effect without pearlescent paints, you can do, say you're painting a ship that's like a light blue color, like the sort of eggshell blue that a lot of Starfleet vessels are. You can sometimes use the same color with different finishes. So you take your matte paint, you paint it all the eggshell blue, and then you take the matte paint again, but you add some glossing agent to it and spray that over on some panels, and you get the same color with a slightly different sheen. And when the light hits it just right, it gets that nice sort of Aztec panel look.
Tony Blackwell says, Tamiya NATO black is weird. I've had some noticeable difference in shade in 2 bottles. Shame, because it's great color for painting tires.
Yep. I mean, I found getting some nice variation with just things like neutral or medium grays, and then just using black washes and things from there, or black shades, just to get the shadowing is one way of doing it. Or starting off with a medium gray and doing whatever dry brushing or shades you want, washes and things, and then when it's all done, dry brush again and go lighter with the dry brushes just to get the highlights back. Because the real problem with using black is once you put the black down, there's no way you can go from that. You can't shade it, and you can only highlight it. So
yeah, I mean, as with everything, it's always easier to darken it down. So if you start with a grey, a dark grey, then you can darken bits and highlight a bit, but it's always easier to make it darker than lighter.
Yeah. Totally Scale Model says to Tedward, you need plenty of rest and recuperation, mate. Mrs. Red, from now on, Mrs. Ted is called Mrs. Red, can help you. I know you've lots of things to do as you've just moved, but really those things can wait. Ted, he's pointing, he's waggling his finger at you, and so are we. So take it easy. Don't worry that you're not typing fast enough or you're not responding to questions. Just take it easy.
Phil Kett says, when I did the cloak on my Grim Reaper, I started off with a dark purple base coat, a light airbrush of black over that, and then a dry brush with Starship Filth on the ridges.
Yep, that's a really good way, because then you get the black with the purple tint. Because what you're doing is you're starting off with the color and you're really just shading it in the recesses to darken it so it looks like black with the color highlight. Instead of doing black and then realizing you can't highlight it very easily, it's better to do the highlight, do everything the highlight color, like in this case the purple, and then darken down the shaded areas. It's kind of doing it in reverse, so you can control where the dark areas are and where the light areas are. Let's have a look. John Reed says, what's your view on the 1/32 scale It's Hilarious Schnellboot S100? I haven't built it. I don't know. But I would say if it's a 1/32 scale Schnellboot, it's probably good. And even if it's not a very good kit, it's going to be huge. So I would do it. I'd do that. The Schnellboots, they look pretty mint. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I don't know that specific one, but if it's 1/32 scale, go for it.
Fibert Grime says, isn't it 1/35th? But same thing applies. It's still big enough.
Yeah. Ian Bottomley says, black shades, paint it dark grey and put some sunglasses on. It's because I paint a lot of Citadel stuff. It's shades. By shade, I mean a wash or a glaze. But I get used to call them shades. So when I say a recess shade, it means doing a pin wash. It's Games Workshop in me. I can't help it.
Skipper Ted says, I've heard good reports on it and it's a nice size.
Yep.
Fibert says, any news about KHHH60 in 1/35th? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
It sounds like a helicopter.
It probably is. In which case, I'm terrified already.
It might not be. It just sounds. I don't know why it made me think helicopter.
Yeah, but don't forget.
Ages.
Yeah, don't forget though. I mean, with me, Ted, and Chris, we have different things that we specialize in. I'm the sci-fi guy. Chris is the tiny things guy with a bit of experience in everything, and Ted's the more traditional, army vehicles, planes kind of model.
Keep those questions, and when Ted comes back, let him have them all.
But don't forget though that a lot of people who are watching in the chat will have experience of things that we don't. So if you don't be afraid to ask about a kit or anything like that, even if you think it's something like that we don't know anything about, because none of the three of us, for example, do motorbikes. I don't do bikes. Chris has done one, but it's not his thing. And Ted doesn't do motorbikes. But don't be afraid to ask about stuff that you don't.
There's always somebody that I know. And if it's a kit you're wondering about, then email eModels.
Yeah.
If you want to know when it's going to be available, then ask them. I'll let you know.
If we don't know, the thing to bear in mind with this stream is that Ted, Chris, and I, we're not actually employed by eModels. We do this because we love eModels and we do it as a favor. We do it because it's fun. So we're not actually employed by them. We don't get involved in the stock and stuff. So if you're asking, if you want to know when something will be in stock, ask us anyway, because we might know. But if you want to know when something will be in stock, or can you reserve something, or can you order something, either drop them an email. So it's sales@emodels.co.uk, or give them a phone call. They'll be more than happy to help you out. They are really good guys. And don't forget, if you can't find something in the store online, it might be they don't stock it, but they can probably get it. I've seen them order stuff for people that they don't normally stock. So if it's something you're after and you can't find it, give them a shout, give them a call. What else have we got? Skipper Ted says, as for the Schnellboot, there is lots of info on them. Just Google lots of color camo variation too. John Reed says, also, any news on the Zuke Mura HS129 1/32 scale release date? Now, I know that the Zuke Mura, the one, do you remember TK was building that Horton, the World War II Horton, the Delta Wing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the most complicated thing ever. I think that's along those lines. Again, don't know. But give the guys at eModels a shout. But don't forget, like I was going to say, and I forgot to say completely, a lot of people who are actually watching and in the chat may know something about it. For example, if you had a question about motorbikes, I wouldn't have a clue. Ted and Chris won't have a clue, but Smoo is in chat, and Gordon's in chat, and other people are in chat who know all about motorbikes.
Yep.
There's a midge in here. Go away. That'll be keeping me up all night now.
While you're dealing with that, Shadowland Scale Models says, any bright ideas on making CA glue last longer, not including the fridge?
Yeah.
Assuming once you've opened a tube of it or whatever, and it dries up.
I like. I could finish that with a song, but I won't. My brain went then. I've got one thing I do like, and I don't know if they've got any left in stock now, but I like the Logic glues, and a lot of them do have this because first and foremost, if I can get the lid off, they have a little pin in the top of the lid, which you can't see because it's overexposed. There's a little metal pin in there that stops it sealing itself, which is good. You'll find I tend to, when I need glue, if I'm going to be doing a few things, like little tiny touch-up things, I'll get some, I'll put it out on a surface like a bit of plastic, and I'll put the lid back on and have it only open for a few seconds. And that helps it last a lot longer because basically as soon as that is exposed to air, it starts to cure. So the more you're sitting there with the lid off, it's curing. So if you can minimize how often you have that lid off, literally get it open, put a little bit on the surface, put the lid back on, then use that as your reservoir for glue, then much better. It's really just about keeping that lid keeping the lid off as little as possible. And if you can get one with a pin in the lid, that also helps.
Now, I don't tend to use CA super glue very much for, I mean, the 144 stuff, not much of it needs it. So what I tend to use is the cheap little tiny tubes from small pound shops and things like that, where you get, half a dozen of these for £1. If it dries up, you've not lost much, in 10p or something. So, but again, you just get it out on something that you can dip it from and just, use it when you need it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using, for example, like I know like the Logic stuff, and eModels do have various different brands of the super glue in. You might have, say, some of the very thin super glues that some of the model making glue manufacturers do. So you can like do capillary action super glues. Again, it's just a case of keeping that lid on as much as possible. I had one of these where I'd left the lid off for a few hours. Within a week, it was just a rock hard thing. But this pot itself is about 5 years old. And I don't use it very often, but when I have, I just make sure I get that lid back on as quickly as possible. If you look at the top, I don't know if this will come up on camera because of the light, but it's got a big blob of super glue on the end there that's all crusty and hardened. But that's just where it's splooged off the end. But because of the metal pin, it's not blocked up.
Keeps your tubes open.
Yes. Totally Scale Model says, big butts, but I cannot lie. He finishes my thought, basically.
Sprue Glue Alex says, don't worry about that moth, Fox. The spider will eat it.
It wasn't a moth, it was a midge. It was like a little mosquito.
That's right, the spider will eat that anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. When I go to bed tonight, the mosquito will be there going, let me sing to you the song of my people. And I'll be like, oh, trying to get to sleep.
Osric 9000 basically agrees with me. He says multiple small bottles. One does dry up. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Jamie Bone has a quick question. What's the colour for the wool in a World War II RAF pilot's flying jacket?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't have thought they'd have bothered dyeing it, to be honest. It's probably just wool.
If you mean like a proper pilot's flying jacket, it's brown leather and just white wool. It's undyed wool on the inside. They were just literally very good quality sheep's wool blopped onto the inside of a very good quality leather jacket. If you look at a proper World War II flying jacket, it's just wool and brown leather. The brown leather can be various different colours, but just normal uncoloured wool. Cream white is closer, Sergeant Bones. It was unbleached wool.
Yeah.
Phil Kett says put CA or super glue in a Coke bottle lid and use it from there. The bottle stays sealed and fresh for much longer that way. Yeah, what I tend to do is I have one of these. It's a Tamiya tape dispenser thing, which if you look at it in the light, you can't see again because of the lighting, but it's got little sort of lumps on there, which is all piles of super glue. I keep these because they're great for setting your white balance when you're filming, but they also get picked up when I need something to put some paint on or some super glue. So anything, a tile, a piece of glass, any bit of plastic, a pot lid, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just use that as your reservoir and use your cocktail stick or your pin or whatever when you're doing the super glue.
James Chapman says, question. Can you use wall filler, for a diorama base as doing 2 diodes for his Tiger 1 and Tiger 2 Henschel?
Filler.
I would expect probably, but you're going to want to cover it in something to make sure it doesn't sort of flake off and cause any problems.
Yeah, you can, like bog standard DIY filler. Yeah, you can. It's absolutely fine. Just as like Chris says, just make sure you seal it with something. Like a lot of people will use things like fillers and stuff, and then seal them with PVA just to seal it from anything else you're going to put on top. Yeah, be absolutely fine. It's a good cheap way of doing a big diorama.
Yeah.
However,
Phyllis says it's fine, but make sure to build it up in thin layers to prevent waiting forever for it to dry.
Yeah, if you pile it on really thick, it's just going to take forever. Do bear in mind as well, some fillers do actually expand or contract. So if you're using, say, a wooden base and it's only, say, thin wood, you might want to somehow seal that from any water moisture first, because there's nothing worse, and I've done it myself. Piece of wood, build a nice diorama, use various different products. You come back about a month later and the wood board's gone because it's absorbed all the water. So make sure you seal the board. You can also, if you want a really, really cheap alternative to if you're making a diorama that's going to have lots of sandy soil and dirt, and like I did for the skitter build, get yourself some PVA glue and some garden soil, mix it together and slap it all over your diorama, build it over some Oasis foam or whatever you've got underneath to make the shapes. It's great.
And then you just slap it on, do you?
Yeah. But what I did was, it does, I haven't got it here because it's actually in eModels on their cabinet, but I wanted to make like a kind of war zone. It was just bare earth, so lots of like rough texture, and there were some embankments, and I put grass texture on top. And I thought, what's a good way? I've got some garden Oasis foam to make some little hills. What's a good way to make some terrain? So I went in the garden and I dug a hole. Mum was like, oh God, he's digging holes in the garden. Dug a hole about a foot down. I got a load of normal garden soil, put it in the oven, 180 degrees for 1 hour. It smelled fantastic. It's the best smell. It smells like baking bread, but better. In a small, couple of small, shallow oven dishes, 180 degrees for 1 hour, sterilizes the soil, kills off any creatures. Then basically get a big bowl, get a load of the soil, put a load of PVA glue in, make mud. You're basically making mud out of PVA and soil. Slap it all over your diorama, give it a few days to fully dry off. You've got this wonderful, it'll work from anything from 1/35th scale down, basically. It looks like soil. It looks like soil with bits and lumps and things, and you can paint over it. Get it down, let it dry, seal it with some spray on PVA, and you're done. Dead cheap, dead good way of doing earth. It's dead easy, and it smells fantastic.
Was that the one you said smelled like bread or something?
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you get close to it and smell it, it's like you get a whiff of all the paint, but under that you can smell bread because the earth just smells like bread. The kitchen smelled fantastic. It really was nice.
So if you're selling your house,
yeah. But it's just the easiest and quickest way. Instead of using filler, get some soil from your garden, assuming you have a garden. But just make sure you go about a foot down to get rid of any roots, avoid any roots from grass, and you have to sterilize it. So cook it 180 degrees centigrade in the oven for about an hour. And make sure before you put it in the oven, you take out any like little wiggly worms or beetles or snails and stuff. You don't want to hurt them. Sprue Glue Addict says, question, is the Tomcat house trained? Never.
I don't think it's possible, is it?
Never.
No.
Let's have a look. Mud pie, says Sprue Glue. I've got no roots in my hole, says Totally Scale Models. Yeah. I'll have a look later, says James Chapman. Sweet, he says. Cool. Right. Well, we've got any other questions coming? We had no questions come through to Ted, or Ted's not sent me any. So don't forget, if you're not able to get into the chat, you can mail Ted with any questions, ted@emodels.co.uk. And assuming he's still with us in the chat, he'll mail them forward.
Yep. If not, he might keep them for next week. So
yeah.
We don't normally keep things week to week, but we might do on this occasion. So,
Ted says it's nearly giveaway time. Send your questions in ASAP. Yes, I was about to say if we do some giveaways. Yes, we're going to do some giveaways in a bit. So if you want to send us a question and the answer to the question, if we read that question answer out and use it, you'll get a free sticker. But make sure you put your name and address in the email so we don't then have to email you to say, what's your name and address?
Yep.
I always say that on my streams and nobody ever does that. I'm like, oh. Dunkelgelb says Sergeant Bones. You know, one day we're going to have to actually ask a question where the answer is Dunkelgelb. You do realise that?
At some point, but then they'll say that they answered it 3 weeks ago or something, and yeah.
What is the correct colour for this tank? Cheese Nunion. Yes.
Yes. Yay.
Right. What should we do? Should we do a what's in store, or should we
do? We're trying something new with what's in store this week as well, aren't we?
Oh yeah, yeah. Would you like to explain that?
I should do.
I'm going to do some manly tea.
When the motorbike's gone black outside.
What was that?
That's a motorbike outside. I've got my window open. It's hot.
Smoo, what are you doing outside Chris's house?
Right. Now that it's gone quiet. Right. We thought we'd try something different this week. So to give away an extra sticker, as the what's in store, we normally do.
Sorry to interrupt you. Should we give away a huge sticker?
A huge sticker. Yeah, one of your very few chances. Can you show the front of the sticker though instead of the back?
That's what it looks like in real life. You
Yeah.
can't see because of the brightness of this light, but that's a big piece of paper.
Bigger than Fox's head.
Yeah, ignore the white square it's mounted on. It literally is just a E. It's like a vinyl sticker you stick on your car. You peel it off, so you don't get the big white square. That's not part of the sticker. It's confused everybody.
Right, so for a huge sticker,
huge.
The what's in store. We normally do pick a sort of theme, and everything's like loosely assembled into a sort of theme, be it Canada or
space
or space or
beans.
So this week, Foxx has picked a theme, but we're not going to tell you what the theme is. So as Foxx is going through the what's in store and doing each of the, I think we've got 4 or 5 different items this week. Don't say it then, but keep thinking about what the theme might be. When Foxx has finished the presenting, and actually when we see Foxx on screen again, after it being locked onto the computer screen of his, then that's your clue to go and put in your answer as to what you think the theme was.
Yeah, so I'll press a button and you'll hear cashier number 4, please. Actually, I have to tell you this. Before we do this. I have to tell you this. Some of you may know that Tony, who is our good friend who also does some eModels videos that we can never get on the show. In fact, no, I'll tell you later. Let's get on with this.
You'll forget later, but we'll try and remind you.
All right, we're going off on a tangent. Anyway.
We'll do the Tony story later. Right, so we're going to do what's in store, and there is a theme. As ever, if you've ever watched this show before, you'll know that the theme can be a bit tenuous. So it might not be as easy as you might first think it is, or it might be. You just have to, figure it out. There is one underlying theme throughout all of the items.
Yes.
So when we finish, when Foxx is back on screen, put in the answer, and the first one that we see wins a huge sticker.
Huge sticker. As Zadster says, huge, and it's upside down as well.
Yeah, you can put it whichever way up you like.
So it's printed upside down, so it's limited edition.
Oh, it's the Australian version.
Smoo says, delivering Paul's Pizza, Foxx, new part-time job, gave it a brap past Chris's house. Lol.
In the wrong way then, because that's a dead end down that way. Yeah,
yeah, he sat down there going, oh, that didn't work out.
Right, so Foxx has got control of all the buttons and the what's in store, so I'll just sit back quietly and be amused by what he's chosen. So remember, don't put it in yet. Put it in once you see Foxx again.
Yes, right. So I shall do a screen shareage. I'll just make sure I've got everything dubious closed off that you can't see. Okay, are you seeing that now, or are you not seeing that?
Yep, I got that now.
Yeah, it's over here and I can't see it myself. Right, so I'm kind of on my other monitor. It's not ideal. Right, so first off, I thought we'd start with first thing. Now, I know a lot of you are panicking because you thought we're going to be doing like half horses and noses and models of the human butt and things like that, but we're not. We're not being silly this week. We're being sensible, as if like Ted was, doing the what's in store. So yes, first we're going to start off with the Revell 135th GTK Boxer SG San KFZ. You got to love them Germans. Plastic model kit. I don't know why I said that.
Basically, is that a word or is that just letters?
I don't know. I don't know if that James got a bit funky when he was typing it and maybe had much coffee and was like on the keyboard.
Phil East says, I just finished building that.
Have you? Oh, well, it's basically an armored personnel carrier, but as a ambulance. And it looks kind of mint. It's got very Aliens vibe to it.
It looks good. I like that. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of hint of Striker with that little bit above the little sort of periscope bit here on the corner where the driver's area is. It's got a hint of Striker to it, but it's got many more wheels. But I'd be doing this up to look like something of Aliens, to be honest. It's got a bit of a sci-fi vibe to it. And it looks pretty good. I do have in my stash of collections a 135th Revell Foxx long out of print that I must do at some point. But it looks quite mint, this. And and it's got a removable doobie-doo on the back. This is what I like about this. It's got removable Thunderbird 2 module. So you can, it can be a multi-purpose vehicle. But yes, and then I sometimes rib Revell, but that's only for certain things. They do nice cars, and they do a lot of nice sort of armored vehicles. So I'd be tempted with that. I could have some fun with that. Make it all.
Philly says that rear can be medic, missiles, or personnel carrier, etc. So it's just that bit that sort of comes off, and they put on whatever they need for the time.
Or if you wanted to, you could go all Jerry Anderson on it and get some real sci-fi going on. Because you could have that what's that episode in Thunderbirds where it's the space plane that's coming down to crash, and you have to get 3 things under the wheels to, you know the one I mean. I can't remember. Anyway, so yes, that is the Revell 135th GTK Boxer.
And just had a notification from Ted that you might not have locked the screen.
Have I not? Oh, hang on. The screen is now locked.
He did say you didn't lick the screen, but he did mean lock.
Good morning. You have not licked the screen. Oh dear.
Well, I didn't do anything untoward while I was sitting here thinking it was locked on you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good job I didn't do anything untoward. So there we go. There's the Revell 130th GTK Boxer plastic model kit. Now, don't forget, when we show all these things in store, as we always do, if any of these do tickle your fancy, don't hang around. What do they do, Ted? Oh, Chris, what do they do, Ted?
They put it in your basket.
No, it's not the same, is it? Slap it in your basket. No. Yes, if any of these tickle your fancy, get it in your basket straight away. Slap it in your basket, as lovely Ted would say. And don't forget, it's not yours until you pay for it. Yeah, so don't leave your basket there until the end of the show, because we don't know how many of these are in stock when we show what's in store. So if you fancy something and you leave it in your basket at the end of the show, you go and cash out. If somebody else has bought it before you, it's not yours. So get it in your basket and get it paid for. And Michael Jackman is saying Fire Flash. That's the Thunderbirds thing. Yes.
Apparently the first episode, but I don't.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. It was a good episode, that.
Is anyway, that the first episode of the new one, not the old one?
I've actually watched the new Thunderbirds, and it's actually not bad. I didn't like the new Captain Scarlet; it was terrible. I didn't mind the new Thunderbirds is actually quite good. They give John stuff to do in space. Chris with finger up his nose. Apparently, you haven't locked the screen, says Speedy Q8.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Just be grateful his finger was up his nose. Yeah. Right. So that's that one. So that's the Revell 135th GTK Boxer. That looks mint, and I could sci-fi the hell out of that. Next, in the amazing selection of goodies we have the Trumpeter 135th Modern US Army Stretcher Ambulance Team, which you could kind of cobble together with that last kit and get a nice little diorama going. Even though these are American, doesn't really matter. Just make it up. Doesn't matter. So I thought you could complement your 135th, whatever that one I just showed you a minute ago was, because I've already forgotten, because I'm brilliant. 135th thing. Yeah, with these guys. With 3 medics and a dude on a you can tell American because he's got like a woolly hat or a do-rag on his head. What does it say? It says Trumpeter. Oh, it doesn't say anything. It has a little picture there of unpainted.
We've got PR1 Mal that says, hello from the US, first time viewer here. Just got back into modelling for the first time since I was a kid 30 years ago. I've been watching videos by Andy's hobby and YouTube sent into our channel. So
cool.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Grab a chair, sit down, I can watch.
Yes, eModels do ship most stuff to the US, just so you know. Welcome.
Just another note, we're not accepting answers yet, so wait until the end when we see Foxx again. That's when you put in your answers.
Yeah, if you're
not saying anyone's right or wrong or anything, but not yet.
Ignore them. We'll just ignore them. So if you get in that last kit and you want some dudes to go in it, get yourself the 135th Modern US Army Stretcher Ambulance Team, or even if you're not doing that, it's a good team. You could use these, customize these for a lot of different things.
I was going to say it says 4 figures, but I can only see 3 there. But I see the 4th one now.
Yeah, he's having to lie down. He's a bit poorly sick. So I have to say the guy at the far left with the shades and the beanie cap looks a bit like Colonel Jack O'Neill.
He does a bit, yeah.
He does, doesn't he?
In the way that he's not actually doing any work. Oh no, he's just got a hand on the thing, hasn't he?
He's there going, magnets. It's just magnets. And the guy on the right looks a bit like, he reminds me of someone, but I can't quite place it. He looks a bit like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of House and Booth from
there's one guy that was on some army show that he looks a lot like, but I can't remember the actor or the character.
No, he's a bit like a mixture of House and Booth from Bones. I don't know why. I don't know what that makes him, but yeah, it really does like Colonel Jack O'Neill on the left. So we'll have to assume the guy on the stretcher is Teal'c. Nice bit of Stargate reference there. I'll always get the sci-fi in there. Right. So anyway, that's that one. What's next? We have the Mini Art 135th Gaz 0330 ambulance. I'm going to guess that's 1930. And it looks like a mint little van. I'm really liking this. The moment I saw this, I like these kind of vintage designs because when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of Tintin, and this kind of design where you have the sidey headlights, those kind of headlights, and the engine area, and then the big van. I love that. And when I see this, all I can think is Dad's Army and Corporal James sticking his rifle out of a hole on the side doing practice. No, I don't know if this is German or French or. Say again.
I think it looks a lot like a hearse, which is a little bit scary with the an ambulance type thing.
But it's got a nice stretcher in the back. Now, I don't know. Let's have a look. It's a highly detailed. Total details. It's got 314 details, apparently. I don't know what that means. This model contains 314 details.
See if you can spot them all.
Yes, can you spot all the details? It has 279 plastic parts, 9 photo etch parts, 26 clear plastic parts, and it has decals. It's a new tooling. The engine is accurately represented. It's got authentic wooden texture, and all doors can be assembled open or closed. So, yeah, that looks actually mint. I like that because I love that kind of vintage vehicle look. Mini Art are starting to make they've been around for a while, but they are starting to make a name for themselves in the old vehicle side of things. So, 29 quid, 30 quid, that's not bad at all. I would definitely be tempted to pick that up if you want to make an interesting vehicle that's got potential for some weathering on it, especially if it's grey, because grey's a brilliant colour to weather over. Get some Tamiya weathering pastels on that, like I did on my Opel Blitz. Looks brilliant. So there we are, the Mini Art 135th Gaz 0330 Ambulance. So what's next? That's that one. Anybody saying anything in chattings about any of these, by the way?
Not particularly. Apparently the Gaz bit might be Gorkovsky Automobilny Zavod.
Yes, I was just about to say that. So we guess it's Russian then. Gorkovsky Automobilny Zavod Gaz.
Joanna Hammond's in. She's got a poorly arm. Won't be typing anything quick. She's got a hand or an elbow. Still recovering.
Yeah, she's got a busty arm, hasn't she? Ian Bottomley says, with that many details on the kit, it's approximately 10 pence per detail.
I was wondering if anyone's done the maths. Is 279 and 9 and 26? Is that 314?
I don't know.
There, isn't it?
But it's like 3. I just love the fact it can contain. This kit contains 314 details. It's like saying kit contains 72 aspects. It's like it makes no sense.
I think it means parts.
Yeah, I think it does. We've got to love some of these like slightly ropily translated things, but I like that. I like that. It's got a nice clunky wooden look to it, and I'd be up for that. What's next? Next we have. This is where we throw everybody on the theme now. You see?
Yeah.
We have the Mini Art 1/16 Burgundian Knight 15th century. Everybody's going, what? I don't get it. It's not a lot to say on this one other than it is a rather nice looking 1/16 scale medieval knight, 15th century to be precise.
I don't know where Burgundy is.
Burgundy's probably French, I guess. His best is probably French, I would guess. If you like painting, and this is a strange thing to say, but if you like painting your Space Marines, then you're used to painting people in armor. So why not treat yourself to a really big, effectively, oldie worldy Space Marine, a bloke in armor? Because there's a lot of potential here for just doing lots of metal weathering. You could have a really good time with that. There's no information on him in the blurb, but it's going to be a static figure. But I'd be interested in that because it's a lot of metallic effects on the armor. You could have a lot of fun building that, especially on the chainmail and stuff. Plus, you could go a bit Warhammer if you wanted to. You could get a bit funky with that.
Not everything has to be Warhammer, you know.
I know. I'm always going to sci-fi up the one. Right, so that's that one. We'll move swiftly on from that one. Now everybody's completely confused about what they thought the theme was.
Yeah, everyone's gone quiet in the chat now.
They're all like, oh. Dad's Army for Matty's Metal Detecting South Wales. We still haven't figured out what he does. It says Dad's Army, open 2-3, bang 2-3, bang 2-3, close 2-3. That was what they used to do with that van with the holes in the side. They get the guns and they pop them out. I remember that. Thank you very much for that, Matty. Next up, we have 2 more to go. Next up, we have the M792 Gamma Goat US 6x6 ambulance truck. I call this the Spud truck because it's just that cute. It's a little tiny truck with a little tiny trailer. It's totally adorbs. And it's good classic Tamiya 1/35th scale army stuff. So you've got nice texture in the seats. You've got loads of detail on the interior. And I have to say, I was saying this to Chris earlier on. You know, when you're kids and you're young and you look at the Tamiya catalogue and you see all the beautifully painted models and you think, I'll never be that good. And then you actually look at a close-up picture of something assembled by Tamiya and you realise the paint job on the guy in the cab is not that good. Most of us can probably do better than that. So now we've got older, we're like, wow, we've actually got better than the guys at Tamiya now. Brilliant. Because a painted Tamiya catalogue kit was always a milestone for me, somewhere to achieve, something to aspire to. And now it's like, yeah, we're all better than that. But yeah, that looks mint. Another ambulance. I just think it looks dead adorable, huh? I can't really think of anything to say about it.
Other than trailer separate or attached to it.
I think it doesn't say on there, but I suspect it's probably a separate. Oh, it says here. Let's have a look. Includes 6x6 tractor and carrier modules. Depicts with accuracy features of the M792 ambulance variant, such as the folded out seat, cum bed, and heater in the trailer, plus the canvas roof. Polycap is used to accurately recreate not only the appearance but also the unique movement of the central articulation joint. So it is actually one single vehicle because it's 6x6.
Yeah, just looks like it's got a trailer.
Yeah, it's the ambulance version of the unique 6-wheel drive US military vehicle, commissioned in 1966 as an off-road amphibious vehicle. Wow, that looks more modern than 66.
Tony Blackwell says Tamiya figures always have someone pointing.
Yeah, there's always a pointing dude.
Yeah.
You say, dude, go the other way. It's where you came from, you muppet. But I think that looks mint. I would have pegged that as 70s, not 1960s. So I'm quite impressed. I'm guessing it was designed to go over lots of varied terrain because you kind of realise that's Vietnam era, which is only 10 years after Korea, when Korea was like virtually World War II tech, not far after, and yet it looks modern. Weird. Anyway, there you go. So that's the Tamiya 135th Gamma Goat. If you've made any Tamiya 135th kits, you know they're absolutely brilliant. They're great for beginners as well because they're not super complex like a Dragon or a Tacom, but they do give you great detail, and they're great if you're just starting out on vehicles. Give a Tamiya a try. Last but not least, last one on the list, we have that, which is not. We're not doing this as a what's in store. That's the giveaway prize from last week, so we'll leave that there. I shall unshare. There we go. I am back. Cashier number 4, please. So from now, what was the theme? Go. Now we've already had some answers before I said that, so we can't accept those. So
yeah,
if you've already put an answer in, put it in again. Bam, there we are. First one I've seen is James Chapman, who says Red Cross.
Yeah, that'll do.
Done. Well done, James. You got the theme. The theme was the Red Cross. That's why there was a knight with the Red Cross on his shield. Did you like how we threw you a bit there?
Philly says 100 years of the NHS. Was it 100 years of the? I know it was 100 years of the RAF this year.
70 years of the NHS this year. How do I know? Because I've spent the last 2 weeks going back in and out of hospital and they've got posters everywhere saying we're 70 today.
Yeah, I know it was 100 years of the RAF this year because they had a fly past thing, didn't they, a while back? 100
years of the RAF and 70 years of the NHS. And a million years since I left school.
Yeah. Right, so that was James Chapman, was it?
Yeah, that was James Chapman.
Yeah.
So James Chapman, well done. Send an email even to ted@emodels.co.uk and just say that you won a Mr. E sticker.
Not a mystery sticker.
Not mystery. Mr.
E.
As an MRE sticker. Sticker of Mr. E. So you can't see that, can you?
No.
You can't see that one either.
No.
It's a Mr.
That one.
He's called Mr. It's a Mr. E sticker. Just say you won the big ass sticker, and we'll get one of those sent out to you. Include your name and address as well. So well done, well done.
Yeah, lots of people are coming in with Red Cross now, but it's too late now.
We said don't answer to
the first person, not the last person. But...
Yeah, I did say wait till I say go. So there you go. Right. 170 years of the RNA HFSA, says SpiddyQ8. Royal National Association for what's that? Spid. Turkey Scale Model says night all. It's 11:20 p.m. Still not hot. Still hot. So off to my air-conditioned bedroom. Thanks for coming in, dude. Do make sure to come back if you entered the giveaway for this. Let me just go back to screen sharing again. If you entered the giveaway for that last week, do hang around because we're going to pull the winner in a minute.
Yeah.
So it might be worth hanging around because that was last week's prize. I'll just I'll stop it again. There you go. Does Mr. E have a devil's tail? Says Joanna Hammond. Where have I put it? That's the front. I'm not going to make any comment. We love the character. We'll leave it at that. There we are. Let's have a look. Spiddy Q says night. PR1 Mail says 5:20 p.m. here. Sergeant Bones. Dunkelgeld with Brune sauce, says Sergeant Bones. Kenneth's in. Hey, Kenneth.
PR1 Mal. I think it's Primal. I just noticed that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, Primal.
It says trivia fact: the theme song from MASH had lyrics. The song was named "Suicide is Painless." I knew that.
Suicide is Painless is actually, if I remember rightly, an old song from like 1930 something. It's actually an old song. It was, if I remember rightly, it wasn't actually written for MASH. It's a very old song.
Yeah, I believe you're correct there. And Kenny says suicide is the one crime you can't be charged with if you're successful in committing the crime.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the RNF and NHS combined with an additional A for because, says Spid. Ray Aquilina, good night, my friends. Ray's off. Thanks for coming in, Ray. If you are going off because of temperature or whatever, and you did enter the giveaway for that Tomcat, just make sure to come back and watch later on to see if, because we're going to do it in a bit, but probably about 10 or 15 minutes. Do come back and see if you want, because we're going to pull the winner live on telly. So there you go. Murder by posting dangerous spiders, says Sprue. Yes, Kenneth, you got me good with that. I knew you wouldn't, but even I was like, I don't want to open it. I don't want to open it. Right, we do have some giveaways questions. Legal quiz questions. Yes,
we got a normal size sticker and a mug, maybe.
Yeah, hang on. I need to just check some. I'll come to that one later. I was going to tell you a story though before we do the giveaway.
There was going to be a Tony story.
What was I going to talk about?
A Tony story, apparently.
Oh yeah, my local hospital is where Tony works, and they've got this weird thing. They've got different departments like A&E and outpatients. But the outpatients department, it's a little like you walk in and there's a woman behind the reception desk who takes your details. They've got a whole counter with like 6 people, but it doesn't say anywhere on it reception. I didn't know if it was like a pharmacy or if it was like a bank in the hospital, because it's like 5 or 6 cashiers and they have a little button they press and it says position number 5, and you go up and this is where you check in.
Yeah, like the post office.
Yeah. So it's just like the post. And I was like, I said to Tony one day, I was texting Tony, I said, Tony, please, one day you have to go in. Because if you don't know, if you go into the post office in the UK, if you don't live in the UK, when you go into a post office and they have multiple counters, they have a button that they press and it says something very specific. And I've always had it stuck in my head for years. So I said, Tony, whenever you get the chance, please, if you can, hack into that system where at the reception for the outpatients, and please change it from saying position number 5 to cashier number 4, please, or cashier number 2, please, because I thought that'd be hilarious. It doesn't really work when I tell it out loud. No,
not really. It probably sounded much better in your head.
Yeah, Tony said they can't do that because they tried it once and it's all secure. So there you go. But yes, every time I go there, I just have cashier number 2, please, in my head, and it makes me giggle every time I'm in outpatient.
It must be quite a boring job doing that, really, mustn't it?
Yeah.
Sitting behind the counter, just waiting for someone to press a button so you can say, position number 7.
Primal says, does anyone else watch Danger UXB episodes on YouTube? I remember watching Danger UXB in the 80s when it was on telly. I remember watching Danger UXB. Do you remember that?
I was aware of it, but I never really watched it. But it's quite scary because Uxbridge is down the road from me here, and UXB is the postcode area for Uxbridge. So it always makes me think it's dangerous around here, but it's not.
Maybe it is. You never know. What's it like on a Friday night?
Yeah, it can be quite, yeah.
It was the same here as like Triangle, which I never used to watch. There's a lot of people now going, God, triangle, I forgot about that. Question for this is from Primal. You can play with this one if you want. In your country, are small hobby shops common? They were 20 years ago here in the US, but they are a dying breed now.
No, pretty much. Yeah, they're not common at all. I can think of one model shop that's fairly local to me, but it's not very easy to get to. Other than that, you're going to bigger sort of hobby shops that have a small modelling section, but not really, no.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, there's a local hobby shop, little model shop. There's still there now, and it's still local to me. But there were, several. There were in the town near where I live. There were at least 2 or 3 like model and toy shops. This in the 70s and 80s, and they would sell all kinds of things. They sold Revell and Airfix and all the different paints. I used to get all my Star Trek kits there, and there were loads and loads and loads. Now there's just nothing. We are bereft. There's that local model shop that I grew up going to as a kid. My first ever trip to my local town on a bus by myself, because I was dead big and grown up, was to go to that model shop. They just sell trains and remote control stuff now, and a little bit of Airfix and Humbrol paints, and that's it. I think for small model shops, the market's just died, and that's why stores like eModels here, they're the best option, because they can afford to carry everything, because they're not beholden to landlords and premises and having a small catchment area. So someone like eModels that can get orders from all over the world is always going to do much better and have a much wider selection, because they're not stuck in a town centre dependent on people coming to them.
Yeah, I mean, lots of small shops and small businesses can't compete with the internet when it comes to anything anyway. So a small, fairly niche hobby like model making is always going to have trouble with, real bricks and mortar stores. But Primal says, I have to drive an hour to get to a real deal model shop. And Spid says, my nearest is almost 200 miles away. Yeah, but that's your nearest shop as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Spid lives like up in the...
Spid's in the middle of nowhere, so 200 miles that's where his local corner shop is as well.
Spid's at the pointy bit at the top. Mind you, he's not as far away as Scott, who's about an extra 1,000 miles on top of him. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd have to drive quite a way to get to a decent model shop. I mean, eModels is about 30 miles from me, so that's about an hour's drive down the motorway. So, and that's my nearest decent model shop.
I think you're doing motorways wrong if you're driving at 30 mile an hour.
No, and I'm going down the M56, which is 50 miles an hour anyway.
Yeah,
and then never 50 on a good day. So that's a good half hour, an hour away for me. And eModels will be even if it wasn't online, it will be my local model shop, because there aren't that many. There's a few exceptions to the rule. There are some physical model stores that do all right. But what you'll tend to find is the ones that have physical bricks and mortar stores that seem to be working and actually survive in the UK, they survive because they have a web-based business as well. And that's how they survive. The bricks and mortar store probably doesn't bring in that much, because again, they're dependent on the local catchment area.
Yeah.
When you see all these little tiny, what Americans would call mom and pop stores, little independent model shops that have died because they don't really carry much, or they might just do remote control stuff, it's because they never got on the internet thing and they can't compete. My local model shop that's now just does remote control and trains, their website it looks like it was made in 1998. It's terrible.
Michael Jackman says, I must be lucky I've got 3 within 20 miles.
Yeah.
I think you're probably supporting them all as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The little tiny sort of mom and pop stores, they just can't compete anymore because they didn't jump on the internet bandwagon. And those that are still going have an internet business behind them to back them up. Yeah. Which, for example, eModels would be a local model shop, but their primary business is they're a warehouse that sells, it's internet based. They just happen to have a counter where you can go in and, so if you live local to them, you can pop in. But those that didn't get on the internet bandwagon, they're just fading away.
Yeah. Spid says, I'll have you know we have a shop that sells milk a short walk away, about 80 miles.
Yeah, milk. There's a Penguin Cafe reference there. Skipper Ted says, oh my God, triangle, crossroads on water. And Phil Lewis says there is a reason people forgot about triangle. Now, 95% of the people in chat have got no idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember.
For those that do remember, they still have the scars from triangle. Yeah, I actually went
Crossroads, but not triangle.
I actually went back and voluntarily watched some triangle a few weeks ago, and it was like, oh, why did I do that? Primal says there is one local shop that stocks models. The owner is 90 years old and he's been open since I can remember. Yeah, a lot of them now, though. If they haven't got an internet business behind them, they'll be very lucky if they're still going, or if they do, they'll just stick to certain niche stuff. Like I say, a lot of them around here will just do model trains, and because the model trains market are people that don't tend to shop on the internet, and remote control stuff, because sometimes you need to go and pick up bits and stuff, because kids get into it, so they might survive on that. But model kits and stuff, it's the internet now. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Where are we? Let's see what the comments have been doing. We're going to have a look at.
Well, Fox is looking at more comments. Remembering next week is gallery week. It's the first show of the month. So, assuming we're here, we'll be doing the gallery giveaway. So, make sure you've gone along to the gallery on eModels.co.uk. Make sure you've uploaded your pictures of your finished builds and reviewed other builds that are up there that you like. Because we only choose the 5-star builds. So get reviewing if you like one. Put your stars on it, and it might win.
Yes, I have been given some revenge. Phil Lewis says, "You fool, Fox!" Me going to accidentally watch some triangle. Monkey 555500 says, "Oh no, I remember it." And Festa 67 Workshop says, "As bad as Howard's Way," and I'd forgotten about Howard's Way, but now I haven't forgotten about Howard's Way. Thanks. Anyway, yes, so I've just given the chat a load of flashbacks that he really didn't want.
Yeah, nobody needed flashbacks for Howard's Way and Crossroads.
Yeah, it's just Crossroads was funny, but Howard's Way was just awful. Dire. Right, should we do some giveaway stuff?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? Do you want to do last week's giveaway first, or should we do the stickers first?
Oh, we've got to do the stickers first. Do a sticker and mug, and then we'll do last week's, won't we?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. People waiting for that. They might go away if they found out they won or haven't won. So
yeah. So what should we do? Shall we do one for the big sticker, one for the little sticker, and one for a mug?
Cool. Okay. Have we got 3?
We have 3 questions.
That's convenient.
I've just got to check something.
Have we got 3 answers?
You talk for a minute. I've just got to work something out.
Okay, we'll leave you working quietly. Right.
I've worked. Well done.
We've worked out already, have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Zadster says Howard's Way was on at that. Well, I better do my homework time on Sunday.
No, that was
missed anything.
That was Prisoner Cell Block H for me. Prisoner Cell Block H was always geology homework.
Wasn't that later? That was late, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'd sit there at like 11 o'clock at night doing my geology homework
for the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. So let's do some giveaways.
Oh, James Chapman says, "Remember to refresh." Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Just in case the chat and the video don't sync up properly, make sure you've refreshed it and drag the bar away to the right and click the little live button and things to make sure it actually is us here now rather than us here 5 seconds ago, because it will be the first answer that we see. So you don't want it to be 10 minutes later, because then it'll be all embarrassing.
What he said. So hit refresh right now before we do anything.
I've already done it. It's fine.
Do it now.
No,
right. So let's do some giveaways. So
what are we doing first?
Let's do the little sticker first. Then we'll do the big sticker. Then we'll do the mug. Or should we do the mug? We'll do this little sticker first.
Little sticker. We've just done a big sticker, didn't we? So
we'll do a little sticker.
Little sticker.
So you can win yourself an eModel sticker. So it's the same as always. I will ask the question. Chris could ask the question, but he hasn't got them. I've got them here.
It makes it harder to ask the question when I don't have the question.
Yes. So
or the answer.
Yes. So I will ask the question. Don't answer the question till I say go. And then we will take the first correct answer. And like Chris was saying, we see it differently to you guys. When you type an answer, you see the chat tailored to you, so you see it appear straight away. We see it in the order that eModels, in the order that YouTube actually receives the text. So there you go. Right.
Yeah,
so
it's got to go from you all the way to them, back to us before we actually see it. So it could be a little while.
Yeah.
Skipper Ted says he's refreshed. Yeah, but you're not allowed to enter. You've already got.
Yeah, you can't enter.
He hasn't got a big sticker though, has we? You're the only one with the big stickers.
Well, I think they were going to send him some, but they didn't have his new address, even though they didn't have his new address.
They got my address, didn't send me any.
It's not like it can pop out and post them out now anyway, is it?
This is true, yeah.
Got to be on bed rest for a few weeks. So this is for one of these. I hope you realise I have to actually go out and buy a load of envelopes to fit these in now.
You can fold them up.
Put them in little tubes. So I can use normal envelopes. So if you want to win yourself an eModel sticker, this is a question from Jamie Bone, who sent it to Ted. So Jamie, you didn't include your name and address in the email. So make sure to mail Ted with your name and address to say that you need a sticker, because we're going to read your question out. Remember, if you send us a question and answer, include your name and address in the email, so we don't have to mail you to ask you what your name and address is. Right. So it says a question for the giveaway. He says hopes Ted gets better soon. He says question for the giveaway is, what is the name of the new jet that Britain wants to build / purchase? Go. We assume it's a military, obviously. What is the name of the new jet that Britain wants to build / purchase?
I've got no idea. So I'll just
you've got no idea.
The answers.
And Spong straight away is Fibart Crime is straight in with the right answer. He says it's the Tempest.
Yeah.
Remember, we don't fact check these. We just assume that you've given us the right answer. So hello. He's cough it up, lad. Cough it up. Long. So Fibart Crime. For some reason, I keep trying to say Fitbart. I don't know why. Fibart Crime, well done. Send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk with your name and address, and please just put sticker in the title or in the message. Tell us that you want a sticker so we know what to send you. You want a little sticker. There you go. That's that one.
Right.
Jamie, send another email with your name and address.
Says it's the one that looks suspiciously like the Iranian stealth jet.
Ah, but hang on. How do we know what this stealth jet looks like? It's not very good stealth, then, is it?
Maybe when it's landed, you can see it.
Ah, that's when it's not being stealthy. Okay, we have another one. We'll do this one for eModels mug.
Oh,
this is at new eModels mug.
Indeed,
Mr. E on it. You've got one that hasn't got brushes and pencils and things in it.
No, I've got the one that had water in it.
Wow,
a little bit of water in it. I won't show you because you can't see it. But
cool. Christopher Combs says the T-Jet. Philip Prime says I worked there from the 80s to the 90s. I used to run the modelling department, much to the manager's dismay. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Michael Jackman says it's the replacement for the Typhoon unveiled at Farnborough.
Yeah. Pete Rogers says Stuka. Zadster says because it's a really rubbish stealth jet. As to why can we see it? Because it's really rubbish. Sprue Glue Addict says orange squares. Strangely delightful.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I know. I am. Triangle and orange squares. So if you'd like to win an eModels mug, now don't forget, if you've already got a sticker or you've already got an eModels mug, you're more than welcome to have more. You can have as many as you want. So if you want another mug or another sticker, you can obviously play along, go in, put your answer in, and we'll send you another one if you win. If you've already got one of these and you don't want another one, then don't answer. Give everybody else a chance to win, because there's nothing worse than saying, I won, but I don't want it. Can you give it to somebody else? Because then it just gets confusing. So if you don't want another one, don't answer. But if you do want another one, you can have another one.
We get easily confused, and we'd rather not.
Yeah, we get easily confused when Ted's here, and when Ted's not here, it's even easier confused. So, yeah, Ted's like our rudder that keeps us on track. So when he's not here, we're just like, oh.
Ted's a rudder. Yeah,
we're like a helicopter without a pilot. Yeah, never.
Michael Jackman says, "Don't want mug. Got 3 already. Are they the new ones?
Don't answer. That's somebody else.
The new ones though. You might have the old one.
Have you got 3 old ones? Because if the new ones with the Mr. E on it, look.
Yeah,
they're worth
the same as the old ones. But,
yes. Yeah. And if you don't win one, don't panic, because you can buy these for cost value on the website on eModels. They sell them at exactly the amount they pay for them. They don't make any money on these. If you want one, you can buy one. Anyway, let me shut up. The question. We have a question from G.A. Prestwood, who, again, didn't include his name and address in the email. So make sure to send Ted another email with your name and address so we know where to send you a sticker, unless we assume you don't want one. And G.A. Prestwood says, what was the name, stand by, what was the name of the first 747 to fly? Go. What was the name of the first 747 to fly? Again,
strangely enough, I don't know the answer to this either.
No, but remember, we don't fact check these. I've no idea if this is right or wrong. I assume it's correct. So what was the name? Skeletor says Sprue Glue Addict. Bert says Teddy Blackwell.
Dave, Bob.
Dave, Bob, Bernard. Tonight's theme is Pride. Jumbo, Jumbo. No. Flossie, Boeing. Bert. A few people said Bert. 747A, Ed Force One. Spoon, says Mickle Pickle. Jack Waddle. It's a very, I'll give you a clue. It's a very train-like name. Let's just leave it. It's a very train-like name.
Oh, okay.
Planey McPlainface, Shirley, Cheese and Onion, City of Everett. Bang. Carl Whitfield, City of Everett. Carl Whitfield, that is the correct answer. And you're the first one to get it.
Why is that train? What?
Because you get trains like the City of this, and it's the kind of name of the train, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know, just in my mind. So well done, Carl Whitfield. I keep saying Whitefield. Well done, Carl. Send Ted an e-model. No. Oh. Oh, I can't talk.
Send Ted an email at eModels. ted@emodels.co.uk.
That's the one. I've forgotten how to brain now. I'm losing the power to brain. Send Ted an email with your name and address. And G.A. Prestwood, send Ted an email with your name and address as well. Yeah. Because you didn't include one. So I will get rid of that one. Well done. So we have one more question. I did the wrong one. Hang on. Let me go back and find that one I've just archived.
James Chapman says I popped up just before Carl. Not on our screen, you didn't. Sorry, you're just below Carl on our screen. As we say, when you put it in, it will appear instantly on yours before you get the information back from YouTube. But your answer's got to go to YouTube and then come out to everybody else. So
yeah,
your chat does have your comments slightly higher on the list than everybody else gets them. So sorry, but that's the way it works.
Yeah, we see the chat exactly the way, in the order that YouTube actually receives the comments, whereas you see it tailored to you. So yours will appear straight away. Obviously, it doesn't. YouTube hasn't received it, what you see. So, right, last question, and we'll do this one for a big Mr. E
big
sticker. Yeah, I put one on my iPad, but I did actually cover it with a load of other stickers as well. So, yeah, never mind. Anyway. I got my new iPad this week, and I'm like, right, I'm going to cover it in stickers. Blah. There you go. Of course I did.
Did you put one on the front as well?
No, because that's where I do the looking at things. And I tell you what, my old iPad was like, I turn it on and open up, say, email, and my battery would go. This one, I've had it on for the last, 2 hours, and it's only gone down 5%. That's what happens when you haven't got a really old iPad. The last one, we have a question from John Hebborn. Again, didn't include his name and address. I'm waggling my finger. Include your name and address so we can send you a sticker. So, John, please send Ted an email with your name and address. And this question is for a Mr. E sticker. And I've forgotten. I'll ask the question and then I'll actually check the answer in real life. Because the question is, and I've forgotten, how many bands are there on my hat? How many bands are in this? You might not be able to see because I'm going to take it off, but just have a guess. Go. Okay, there you go.
Are we counting each colour separately, or what?
Yeah, it'll be like blue, white, blue. What is it? Brown, blue, and white. There are brown, blue, and white. So it's a number.
Well, we've got lots of numbers coming, and we've got 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 4, 30,000.
Oh, hang on, my chat.
4, 4, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, there we go. Bang. The first one I can see here is, it looks like Matty's is still moving. Stop.
9?
Is Matty's Metal Detecting South Wales says 9.
That is the first 9 bands as well, yeah.
Got blue, white, brown, white, brown, white, brown, white, blue. I think that's 9. That's 9. That's one of the rare ones where somebody answers the question but doesn't give us the answer.
Yeah. And you looked it up and then you had to look it up again.
I know, and then I counted it and then I forgot. So Matty's Metal Detecting South Wales, well done. Sent Ted an e-model. Oh, I've done it again. Wait, Gin. Oh, I've not even opened the thing yet. Send Ted an email, ted@emodels.co.uk, with your name and address and say you won a sticker. And we will send you. Please say that you won the big sticker. If you won the little sticker, say you won the little sticker. And if you won the mug, say I won a mug.
Don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie. We'll know. Because we send these out to you. The guys, that's not an eModels mug. That's a June S mug. That's the wrong thing completely.
You won't win one of them.
Yeah, they don't actually exist. The guys at eModels will physically send these out. We'll forward your mail to the guys at eModels, and they will send this to you. But again, if you didn't win a mug, don't worry. You can actually get them on the website. You get them at exact cost that They don't sell them at a profit. They sell them as whatever they pay for them. So
and if you don't win a sticker, if you order something from eModels and ask them nicely, they might put a sticker in for it as well.
Yep. There is only one band, says Pete Rogers, the Sex Pistols. There's only one band, it's Rubber, says Michael Jackerman. Yeah, I won, thanks guys, says Matty. Fox, have you caught a case of the dumb, says Mickle Pickle. I've just forgotten how to...
Several years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I was born with a case of forgetting how to brain. I've forgotten how to brain today. I've not... For those that know me and follow my stuff, I do a live stream on Sundays. And yesterday I was, because I've not done one for a few weeks because Mum's been poorly sick and I've been away from the bench and away from the internet for the last couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I've kind of forgotten how to do everything. So I'm like, I'm kind of on camera. So.
Phil Lewis says, haven't had the stickers from the bees question yet. Should I email Ted again? It's probably worth it.
Yeah, bop him an email. But again,
if things have been confused this week, so...
Yeah, if anybody won a sticker last week or a mug, well, yeah, if you won a sticker or a mug last week and you haven't had anything back, I mean, the way it basically works is that when Ted does it, he tends to keep them all together and then go to the post office, usually at the end of the month, and do them all in one go because he doesn't live near the post office. I tend to do the same, unless you live in the UK because there's a post box right at the end of my road. But I tend to do the same. Any like outside the UK stuff, I'll keep them all together. So we tend to do them in batches. But if you won anything last week, it's probably a good chance that Ted hasn't done anything with those emails because he's been poorly sick. So mail him again. We'll get him to forward the mails to us, and then I'll get them sent out to you.
He does have a good excuse.
Yeah, he does. Gaz Vicker said, "How is Ted? I hope it's nothing overly bad." For anybody who wasn't at the start, just in case, and Ted's told us we're fine to tell you, he's been in hospital this week. He did actually suffer a small stroke at the start of last week. So he was rushed into hospital. He's recovering. He's fine. He's recovering. He's getting better slowly. He's on bed rest. Mrs. Ted is watching him like a hawk. He was kind of trying to get in on the show tonight, and we're like, no, just go and lie down and chill out and don't.
Yeah, he was in chat earlier from his bed. I haven't heard from him recently. He's probably fallen asleep. So yeah, it's probably just as well he wasn't on camera.
Yeah, he's probably
don't see him in the corners. He's
not said anything in chat for a while. He's probably gone to sleep already. Sergeant Bone says he'll be drinking a cough of cuppy soon enough. Anyway, where are we?
We've done that. We can give away the thing from last week.
Yes. Earl D says, was it a TUI? Do you mean a TIA? No, Ted says it was actually a stroke. Proper stroke. Full-on stroke. Right, yes, let's give away last week's awesome prize. I will do the screen share thing. I'll lock it on me.
Yeah, make sure you do that.
I'll press the button.
Not that button, the other button.
Just close all down the tabs that show rude stuff and porn and stuff. You don't want to see that. Okay, are we on? Are you seeing?
I don't know. I as far as I can tell, it is, but I don't know.
So yes, last week, if you remember, Ted and Chris had planned to give something away when they were contacted by Debbie, who is the big boss of EA. And he said EA then. Why did I say EA?
It's in the game.
It's in the game. Debbie is the big boss of eModels. She's, Pete Mate's boss in all the ways. She's Pete Mate's boss. She's the big boss. And she said, whatever you're giving away this week, don't care. You're giving this away instead. And she decided that last week, because they just got it in stock and it's a brand new release from Tamiya, they decided to give away this 148 scale Grumman F14D Tomcat, which looks incredible. And we asked you to put a comment on the video from last week on the live stream. And all we asked you to do was put a comment on there saying, thanks, Debbie, or something along those lines. And strangely enough, we had 58 comments. It was quite a popular prize, this one.
How many did we have for your half a horse? Was it like 10 or something?
Well, for the full-size human mouth and head, we had 11. for this one, we had 58.
I see a trend.
Yeah, although I have to say, when I showed that half a horse one week, the guys at eModels told us that within a couple of days it had sold out. So everybody laughed that we showed half a horse as a what's in store, but then everybody bought it. So you never know. Anyway, yes, so 58 of you decided that you wanted this bit of all right, this kit. So this is the brand new release. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it live. We have the video here. Everybody's saying thank you, Debbie. Now, I don't think me or Ted or you have actually put anything on here, but whenever I do this normally, if I've put a comment on there, it picks me. So Yeah, we'll have to try not to do
I'd say eModels UK does have a comment or two there, I think. But...
yeah, so if it does come up and it's eModels.co.uk wins it, I'll take that one for the team and take the prize.
Hey.
Yeah, so we're going to copy the URL and we're going to put it into the correct random YouTube comment picker. I know Chris has been doing it for the last few weeks, and he had a totally different website that didn't do any pizzazz or animation. It just pressed the button and the name came up.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that. I'll remember this one in future.
We're back to normal now. We've got the proper one that does the little bit of when it doesn't make a noise. So again, this is completely random. We've loaded in all the comments. There are 65 comments and 1 reply. So we're going to pick a comment at random. It's completely live. We've no idea who it's going to pick. Are we ready?
Oh, I guess so.
Give me a drum roll or a countdown, dude. Okay. Ready?
You ready?
You made your desk shake then.
I did. But nobody can see my camera. It's all right.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, they can. They might be able to. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Randomly pick winner now. Da, 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 da. Don Henkhouse says, thank you, Debbie. Comment number 49. Don Henkhouse, you have just won yourself this box of sexiness.
Congratulations.
Yes, Debbie did say they were selling out like hotcakes, but they put one to one side deliberately to give away. So Don Henkhouse, not a name I recognise from the live chat, but obviously we have a lot of people who watch who don't get in the chat. So Don Henkhouse, well done. Absolute congratulations. All you need to do is send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk and just say that you won the Tamiya 148th Grumman and just put number 61118. And they will get that sent off to you wherever you may be. So make sure to get that mail to Ted and he'll forward that on to the guys at eModels and they'll get that sent out to you. So well done. Well done. Well done.
Well done. Lots of people in the chat saying congratulations. And Russell Williamson says, I like the random picker Chris used. So,
What, that just go bing? It doesn't.
Yeah. Well, yours just did a little twiddly thing and then bink. It's not.
Yeah, but mine has a lovely lady in the background.
Yeah, I don't know who she is though.
Although I often wonder, at no point I've actually ever decided to go and look at the rest of her website to find out what it is, because I don't. It's just something on her website that's probably drawing in the traffic, which is a very good idea. So, Pete, mate, and James, mate, what you need to do is the people that you do your own website, get like a random YouTube comment picker on the eModels website, so people come to your website to use it, and then they're on your website.
Yeah,
yeah. Do that. And a random Facebook comment picker, build something in the eModels website.
Although we probably couldn't use it for this because that'd be sort of like insider trading or something, wouldn't it?
I don't know. We could do. But it'd be a good way to get traffic. Anyway, we're talking inside baseball, eh? Shut up. So, yes. So, there we go. So, well done. A couple of everybody's saying congratulations. Dan Duck Bobbington says, get. Aculeus5 says, congrats, grr. And James Chapman says, is eModels still doing the free kit giveaway on Facebook? Oh, we forgot to mention this. On the Facebook page, which is just
you're still sharing the Tomcat, by the way.
I am on. Yeah, let me come on. Well, I'm going to do the next giveaway, aren't we? So
yeah,
I'll unlock it from me, but I'm still sharing. I'll stop sharing. There you go. On the eModels Facebook page, which is eModels UK on Facebook, they have had a series of posts up where you just need to comment on the post and they will pick a post and send whatever they featured on that post to the winner, the comment they pick. I think there's some still active. I can't remember, but go and check out eModels on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/eModels UK. I think it's just eModels UK. It's got the E logo. You'll recognize it.
It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, they say Tony Blackwell says they've also got a French Suomo tank as well. So they've got a few things on there where they say, here's a new kit that's just come in. Do you like it? Comment and we'll send you one for free if we pick your comment. So it's always worth checking out the eModels Facebook page because A, it'll keep you up to date with what's in stock and what's coming in. And also they'll do the occasional giveaway where they just say, here's this kit. Do you want it? Put a comment. So well done to Don who won that. Don't forget, of course, when you've built it and done an awesome job on it, make sure to post up some pictures on the eModels Facebook page and submit it to the eModels gallery so we can have a look at it and everybody can see it. Right, shall I go back to sharing?
Jamie Bone says, has anyone seen on eModels the new Meng Toon Sherman and submarine?
I didn't know there was a submarine. A submarine?
Submarine.
Smashing. Outstanding, buddy. Ooh, I didn't know.
We did notice the new Meng Toon Sherman.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. Hang on. Let me keep talking, and I'll.
We're waiting for you to tell us what you're going to do. I thought you were going to tell us.
Well, I can, but I can't tell you what I'm doing.
I thought you were going to tell us instead of just not.
No, I'm going to see if I can find the submarine on there.
I was going to look for the submarine.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do.
I don't know what to search for because
search for a submarine.
Well, there's probably quite a lot of.
There's probably several things that come up. Yeah.
Meng.
Is it a Meng-Toon submarine?
I'm just trying to find it now. There's surprisingly quite a lot of Mengs. There's quite a lot of let's have a look under Meng. It'd be easy, wouldn't it?
The sub is on the first page, Tony Blackwell says, but you're searching now, so you won't find it.
Yeah, the first page of
the main eModels page, I would assume.
Oh, there we go.
Because it's a new thing. Oh dear, I think he's found it.
I found it. Right. Yes, I found that. Oh, yeah, I found that now. I like that. Right, what I'll do, should we do this week's giveaway?
Yes.
Right, well, before we do that, I shall lock on me again. I shall screen share.
Yes.
Just before we do the giveaway, I'll just show you that Meng submarine, which now I want. You know, your Meng, they're all chibi, like the chibi tanks and stuff, the World War IIs. This isn't a World War IIs, I don't think. I guess it's a different game called Warship Builder.
Yeah.
It might be nothing to do with Studio Rocker Van. It might be nothing to do with World War IIs, but it's a chibi U-boat, a Class 7, Type 7 U-boat, and I want one of these now. I'm going to have to get one, aren't I? And I do it now, but I've put my card details and I don't want to show you that. I will be ordering one of these very shortly. But yes, if you fancy it, Type 7 cartoon U. Yeah, I like that.
Carl Whitfield says going to need a bigger boat.
Going to need a bigger boat. It's as cute as a button, says Zadster. Oh, yeah. I'll be ordering one of those if they're not all out of stock. If you do want one, order it now, because we often, like we always say, we show things on what's in store, and then the guys at eModels tell us they sell out within a day or two. When we show the chibi stuff, it sells out by the end of the show.
These are definitely the things that go very quickly. They're cheap and they're fun, and people like them.
Yeah, I basically expect when this show is finished, I'll go and try and buy one and they'll be out of stock. So, wouldn't surprise me. So anyway, yes. Should we do a giveaway? We've decided for this week's giveaway, we are going to give away we're going to give away the Meng Sherman Pinky World War II tank because it's totally adorable. I've often made jokes about Hello Kitty tanks and armored cars. This is kind of almost Hello Kitty, but it's not actually Hello Kitty. But it's pink, and look at the cats. I don't know how this figures in the game if you've played the game, but that's adorable. So yes, we're giving away the little Hello. I can't say Hello Kitty.
No, but it is, but it isn't, isn't it?
It's close enough to be, an obvious thing.
It's far enough away that they're not going to get sued.
Yeah. And if you know me, you know that I love these little. I don't know why they've got a Chewbacca in there, but that's just awesome. I think that's the best thing ever. They decided to put a Chewbacca in there. We should add a little hashtag that says star Chewbacca not included. I like the cut of the jib that they've done that. But yeah, it's totally cute. I adore that. If you've not tried any of these little kits, the Meng World War II kits, it's based on a video game where it's all different tanks and real world tanks, World War II German and Allied tanks and vehicles, but in a chibi style. And the kits are kits of the tanks in the game, and they are absolutely fantastic. I love them, and they're so cute. And they're dead simple. They're all snap fit. They're all push fit kits. They're quite small, but they're great fun little weekend builds. And Chris and I did a 4-hour build and paint of a couple of Toon kits over Christmas.
Well, you and Ted actually. But
what did I say?
You said Chris and
did I?
Well, I was there, but I wasn't building anything. But
yeah, you were kind of co-hosting with us. But Ted and I built. I built the KV2, and Ted built the Tiger. I think the Tiger. I can't
remember.
Panzer IV. Yes. I can't remember. It might be the Panzer IV. And we built and painted those and weathered them in 4 hours. It was great fun. We might do another one this Christmas as a Christmas special. I've actually managed to get a Sherman. I've got one down there in a box because I've been trying to get one for ages. So it's the standard Sherman kit, but it's got all the decals to make this pink one.
Philly says that's the Bandai Chewy.
Is it?
Yeah, from the Walker.
Yeah, it is from the
It's not canon. It's not even extended universe.
And then he says, "Sorry, my neck beard slipped." James Chapman says, hey, I think my little girl would love that when she's here and old enough to start modeling. Cough, cough. They are all push fit. There's no glue required for these, although I had to glue a couple of little tiny pieces. They're dead simple builds and they're all pushed together. So they're great for kids as well. So yeah, we're going to give one of these away. So if James and or Pete are watching right now, please can you put one to one side? Because we pick what we give away on each show, there is a slight chance that by the time we finish this show, if you've all bought one, there might not be one to give away. If there isn't, whoever wins will sort out something similar for you. Yeah. So we always have to give that caveat.
Might be a push.
Yeah, we have to give that caveat, especially with these kits, because they do tend to sell out quite quickly before the end of the show. There's always the chance that by the time we tell Pete or James to put one to a side, they've already sold out. So we'll let you know if you win and there isn't one there. We'll let you know. Also, I have to say, they've kind of used the Quantum Leap font, which I quite appreciate, because now I've got the Quantum Leap music in my head. Anyway, how do you win this? How do you win this? Dead easy. All you need to do, wait till the end of the show, give it 5 or 10 minutes so the show just becomes a video on the eModels YouTube page, and stick a comment on the video. And all you need to do, the comment you want to put on is just put something amusing about cats. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, cat fact.
Yeah, cat facts. Cat facts. Something about cats. Make it funny.
They don't have to be true cat facts.
Yeah, they can be made up. Like, all cats are evil geniuses.
No, that's a true one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true, actually. So, yeah, just put an interesting fact about cats on as your comment on this week's show after about 10 minutes when it's finished. And again, next week, we'll randomly pick a comment with the random comment picker that picks a comment randomly from the comments. And you'll win yourself the World War II pinky World War II Sherman. You could paint it normal colours, but you have a load of like pink decals to go on it, and it looks cheap.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, so you have to paint it pink. And then again, we want to see your pictures. We want to send us pictures of what it looks like when you finished it. So there you go. So I shall unshare now.
Now, James Chapman's explaining that the little girl he's saying is actually expected on the 6th of September.
Oh, so yeah, a couple of months then you'll be all right.
So, yeah, a little bit after that. Actually, if she's 3 days late, that would be my birthday as well. So you could call her Christine.
Whoa.
You don't have to.
Talk about legacy. Philip Prime says, nice one, James. Don't expect any modelling for the first 6 months at least. Lol. What are we talking about there?
Babies.
Oh, right, yes. Okay, well, yeah. The thing is, there's no reason why you can't order it now. Somebody mentions it's got purple tracks. Yes, it does. Tony Blackwell, it does actually have purple tracks. If that colour is correct, it has purple tracks.
Speed says, cat fact. Put it in the comments afterwards, but it says, cat fact, most cats don't shave because 9 out of 10 cats prefer whiskers.
Anybody outside the UK won't get that. Well done. Yes, brilliant. So yeah, make sure you put your comment. If you want to win, put a comment on the video once this becomes a video after the show. Did we get any more emails come in from Tedward? Let's have a look.
Questions and things.
All the people's questions we read out tonight, none of you put a name and address in the question, so you don't need to. If you don't want a sticker, you don't need to mail us. But if you want a sticker, then make sure to mail Ted again and just to give him your name, address, and say we asked your questions, so send me a sticker.
Yeah. James Chapman says, don't worry, I have a separate room for modelling. So that's okay. So you can lock yourself in that.
Yes. James Chapman says,
Foxx, when you can't hear the crying.
Yeah. Foxx, James Chapman says, Foxx, go get one for yourself. Hashtag Foxx Hello Kitty. I do have, down away in the depths of my desk somewhere, and it's something I've been planning for a long time, a Revell, long out of production Revell 135th Foxx armoured personnel carrier. And I've always intended to take, there's a famous picture on the internet of a Japanese APC with, it's taken from the back of someone's car, and there's a soldier sticking out waving at the car. It's in Japan, he's going down the highway. And somebody very cleverly took that picture, altered the colours on the APC, so they were pink, and the guy's wearing pink, uniform, pink helmet, and put Hello Kitty stickers on the or added Hello Kitty deep markings to it. So it looks like a pink camouflage Hello Kitty armor personnel carrier with a guy in pink. So my intention is to paint it up pink and get it as a Hello Kitty armor personnel carrier.
I did misread that hashtag as Foxx Shell. Oh, Kitty.
Foxx Shell, oh, Kitty.
But,
Smooth says, cat curry noms. Jerry says, evening all, sorry a bit late. One, hope Fox are well. Folks are well, even. Everybody's fine, Jerry. We're just coming towards the end now, sorry.
Yeah, you have to rewind and watch from the beginning again.
There's always someone that comes out just at the end, isn't there? James says, Spid, James, be sure to get a newborn respirator from eModels baby range before spraying paint. Griff MJ says, Foxx equals Foxx. Foxx equals Fox. But I think that's going to do us. It's 11 o'clock. Wow.
Yeah, it is. We've gone overtime today.
Yeah, we've done last week's giveaway. Congratulations to Don for winning that incredible kit.
Yep. We've done stickers, mugs, stickers.
Yeah, we've done stickers, mugs, and stickers. As far as we know, we haven't had Debbie or Pete Mate trying to contact us to give something away other than the pink tank.
Nope.
If you want to win the pink tank, get your comment on next week's video. What else have we done? We've done everything else, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got the next week's, we've done last week's, and that's that. We've talked about food, so yeah, I think we're done. Yeah,
James Chapman says, Fox, if I win, care to come babysit with Hello Kitty, lol. Me and kids were like that. Me and children is like Worf and Spot. If you know that reference.
Oh, his fiance said, "Bring Chris too." I've got kids, and me and kids are like that as well.
Yeah, you know that scene where Worf's there and he's got Data's cat Spot, and he's like, "I will feed him." That's me and children. Yeah, all I know about is food. Other than that,
ooh, Ted's woken up. He says it's been a great show. Sorry I couldn't join in. Maybe next time, or maybe not. See how you go during the week.
Yeah, just
keep an eye on you. Yep.
Yep. It's no problem at all. Don't you stress yourself. Matty's Metal Detecting South Wales says, bless Fox's mum and Ted. Hope for a speedy recovery for both. Thank you very much.
Yep. Ted says, thanks for all your God wishes. I think he means good wishes.
I have no God wishes. Festa 67's Workshop. Thanks, guys. Get well soon, Skip at Skipper Ted. Michael Jackham's too busy having T-bone steak in Joyland Diner.
I mean, didn't get a pizza.
I know. That's a point. Yeah, there was no pizza going on. James Chapman says you could buy her a Gundam and she can do it pink. There is a pink Gundam. I've got one. It's pink Zaku. I think you've had the best excuse of any tonight. Ted says, Spid, focus on recovery. Now, like we said at the start, there is a possibility. I can't say for sure that over the next 2 or 3 weeks, there won't be a period when our mum's got to go back into hospital, and I don't know. I'll be here on every single Monday coming up. So while Ted's getting better and recovering, it's me and Chris. And as far as I know, I'll be around for every Monday, but there might be one of the Mondays coming up where I'm not available.
Yeah, and we might not know until the Monday. So
yeah. So do keep your eye on the eModels page. In advance, apologies if there comes a Monday when we wouldn't expect Chris to do the show on his own, because that wouldn't be fair. So there may be a Monday coming up where there's no show, but we'll ask the guys at eModels to maybe put a note on the Facebook page.
If there isn't a show, you know why.
Yeah, because Ted's poorly sick, I'm at the hospital, and Chris doesn't want to do it on his own.
You don't want me to do it on my own. No, nobody wants me to do it on my own. So
because there's nothing worse than somebody telling the jokes to themselves.
I just sit here giggling quietly and spend half of it reading the chat, and yeah,
he'd be like, yeah. But I think that's going to do us. Jerry says, did Mama Fox enjoy the fudge? Jerry sent me a load of fudge, Scottish fudge. There was like what flavor? There was Nutella fudge. There was just fudge. It was all the different flavors. And yes,
you ate it all, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a few mouthfuls, and then Mama Fox ate quite a lot. I think there's a little bit left in the fridge, and I haven't gone anywhere near it yet. I haven't had a chance, so she ate a lot of it. So yes, she did. Thank you. Anyway, as Alan Clark says, yes, family comes first. But that's going to do us. So I shall get ready to press the button. Thank you everyone for watching and taking part. Don't forget to put a comment on the video once it's a video to win the funky pink tank. Chris, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Anything you'd like to tell anybody or say to close up?
No, I think we're done for the night, actually. Yeah, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and thanks for all the wishes for Ted and Fox's mum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good night all.
Right, so thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. As always, go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Yes, you there, you, exactly. Go be awesome. Until next time, adios, amoebas.
Bye-bye.